It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home.
Been able to go into that league and then be into a grand final. Up against the Tigers, Sea Lake Nandale, they are going to be up against it. They are a very, very, very good unit. Got some good players playing for them, and well, you know, that very hard to beat. And I think the Tigers will get up, but look, great effort by Nullarbor. Great effort.
Absolutely. Now the umpires are out on the ground here for today's game. Umpires David Carter, Tom Nicholson and Scott Baxter. We're only about 5 minutes away from the start of the preliminary final. Central Murray are also playing Nyah West United. Yep. Up there. So we'll keep your scores coming through. Now in the Heathcote District Footy League, it's quarter time already, Metro. So Mount Pleasant 3-2-20 and Heathcote at 3-1-19, so a 1 point margin, so that could go to the wire. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'll be a ripping game out there. I've been following that throughout the year, and been a long time for Heathcote. Brian, 2010, alongside us here, would know well. He's spent a bit of time out that way. Sending the club broke back in his younger days. We won't talk about payments that.
No. No, I had two brothers who used to do that.
Thought would have made it up on the bar, Brian, back in your
well, whatever I got, it certainly went back.
Yeah, it looks like there's a fair bit to play out there yet today, but I would say as a complete team, Heathcote are probably a better team. Have the class, have the run, the hardness. I think as the day wears on, they should come home with a cup.
Haven't won one since 2010. They went back-to-back 9-10. So been a long time for the Sainers to get back up and get in there. They sort of started to build over the last couple of years. Kobe Price, Cody played here at the Dragons. Yes, was very, very good here.
I actually think bloke that was ex-Sandhurst went out there a few years ago, Wayne Primer. I hope you're listening, Wayne. Shout out if you are, mate.
Yep, coached here.
I've seen the standards he brought in when he came here. He's not willing to compromise and say, you want to get better, you need to get better, this is what you have to do. He was one of the hardest training coaches. The amount of, it was all about running and fitness based. He went out there when they were struggling and he took the same approach. He didn't go, I'm just going to take it easy because they're not going that well, I'm going to scare a few away, it's hard enough to get players in. He said, no, this is how I roll, this is what you're doing. And some of that attitude shift that he brought to that club is still in place now. No doubt the new fella doing a ripping job and recruiting really well, but the foundation of talking about changing cultures, I reckon Wayne's got a bit to do with that.
Yeah, look, I remember like in '88 we had a coach come in and virtually changed the whole culture of the club then. We made the grand final from '89 through to '95 every year, played in a grand final. He coached for 3 years. He got one premiership out of those 3 years. We won one in '89, and I think that culture followed on for a long, long time till around that period of '95. Then there was a massive turnover of players, and sometimes that can affect the culture a little bit. You get new players in, different coaches, they have a different attitude. But now I think when Wayne went out there, he changed that culture again, and that culture stayed with them now quite sometimes. And some of these kids that are playing now, and even the coach, I think was under Primer while he was there. So he's got some of that culture of Wayne when he went out there, and that sort of followed on as well. So look, the Saints and Mounts, they're arch rivals, have been for a long, long time, and we love to hate each other, but we always celebrated together even after the game. No matter who won the premiership, we either went out there or they came into us. So it was a good rivalry, but a friendly, between two towns, we always hit it off pretty well, and always had good mates out at around Mounts. 1 point margin there at quarter time as both captains come into the middle. Lee Cogman and Lachlan Sharp will have the toss.
pretty strong breeze coming from the Barnard Street end, and it doesn't surprise me that when Lockie Sharp won that toss, he kicked to the city end, because I went out there before Mitro and I stood by Sharp while I was having a few shots at the goal to the Barnard Street end, and I thought, hello, I'm going to get a good look at this guy's style standing right next to him. He missed 3 in a row.
He did. Well, actually, to kick it at the Barnard Street end, with the way that breeze is, it is quite difficult today. The ball's sort of sitting up and blowing left and right, and
swirling around a bit.
Yeah, it will be definitely hard to kick goals up that end.
Now, let me. I like to be glass half full normally, but let me give you three areas of concern that I had about Sandhurst last week when they got beaten. I think they need to put Archer Day Wicks. I think they need to bring him up the field. I think they put him far too deep in the forward zone and they wasted his talent down there. And I've got real concerns. As much as I love these two guys to get death, Matt Thornton, I think, has been struggling up forward. And also Lee Coglin's looked a little bit slow. So in these hard conditions, they need to get their hands on the footy in early. And I'm hoping that their finals experience brings them through one.
Yeah, it's funny as your career progresses as a player, and the things that you did when you're 25, you can't when you get plus 30. But I think the benefit of those guys is maybe not so much in their playing ability now. They're not, the expectation to do what they used to do isn't there. But what they need to do is guide those younger groups, because there's guys in been out footy are so young now.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, like they're under 50 games. You need that. If you went all young, I think it would be detrimental to a team, because we're talking about 22 or 3 or 4, whatever we have now, benches. It is a full team effort, so I think the importance will be their leadership as older players, not so much their kick and handball count.
North Central Reserves final score in the grand final, Sea Lake Nandali 12-8-80 have defeated Nullarbor 7-4-46. Thanks for Wayne Smith. He's across everything in the other leagues, and we'll bring you the scores as they come to date. Now, I see Andy Collins, he was used sparingly last game. I think he might have played in that 100th game that I saw you play in there back 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, Andy's come and gone from the Dragons and spent his time down with Richmond and Carlton. But last year out in the when he was in the Loddon Valley there at Bridgewater, he was very dominant. He's smart, and I think last week is well held. So Coe wasn't only taking those defensive marks, he actually took Andy out of the game. Yep. I would expect him to come in and make some impact today.
He certainly should. Like he'll be wanting to make sure and take a bit of a revenge back on what happened last week. These guys have probably been up there and dominated for most of the year, and now they'll need to really step up today and get themselves up and about. So we'll wait and see.
Just about to get things underway in the preliminary final. Over she wrote for the loser today, and the winner will progress next week to the grand final against Golden Square. Promises to be a ripping contest. Here's Bry Mansbridge. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, as you said, Johnny, Ernst in the ruck up against Hosking, the big man. The umpire holds the ball aloft. Preliminary final day about to get underway here at the QEO. Ball in the air, knocked down by Hosking. No one can get on the end of it. The quick little handball forward, comes out the back, running towards it was Wilson. He got a handball over, cut off by the Dragons. Coughlin gave it off, put it inside forward 50. Collins got caught behind, running onto it and going forward now. Quick kick in. Paul Pratt looking for Thornton. Comes out. No, it's Maxted. Picks it up. Can't get a kick. Got to be penalised. He'll get a free kick and it'll go to the Storm right on the last line of defence.
It was Harvey. Harvey went to McCarty. McCarty crosses it across half back. He finds Blandford. Blandford. Oh, he's coughed it up. He's kicked it straight to Noah Walsh. He's up forward. He goes back inside forward 50. Dropping a mark he should have taken. There was Wilkinson. Hands and knees. 40 out from goal. Attack. So they're doing all the attacking in the opening minute. Live. No score on the board.
Ball in the air. Ernst. Hoskin takes it out of the ruck, snaps it around the corner, bouncing ball towards the goal, knocked through. First score of the game, knocked through there by Radcliffe. It's a minor score to the Dragons at the Barnard Street end, and the Storm will win.
Hunter Lawrence now with the Storm. Short pass, he's looking for more. He's kicked it straight to Conforti of the Dragons.
He should go back and have a shot from there. He's got the distance easy.
The wind will be his only problem. He swirls it. It's a horrible, ugly-looking ball. Minor score. 2 behinds on the board. 2 behinds yet to score the Storm. 2 minutes in, opening turn.
That's the trickiness of the breeze of the Barnard Street, because that guy has got a genuine cannon as a leg.
He has. His old man had one as well, so he certainly he can kick it and kick it a long way. Now the Storm, Geary from fullback for the Storm, decides to go out wide, chips it out there, finds his teammate on the outer side in front of the pool rooms. Now they're going to come back through the corridor, gets called to play on, decides to go long down the wing. Good kick, and they spot it up on half-back.
Now the Storm looking to build here. Short pass was a receive. Went to Gordon. Gordon finds Hallinan on half forward. Now they go forward, the Storm. Inside forward 50, sharps the target, lets it bounce. He's clever, keep your eye on him here. Shishka probably acted a little bit for that one. Under pressure, it was some good work by Wright. Now it'll be Coughlin. Coughlin, this is James. That's a horrible looking ball. They're not spinning properly. And Connick marks it for the Dragons on left half back.
Might be a bad ball. It's floating like a dead pigeon everywhere out there at the moment. Lockie Wright looks like he's gone back, Metro.
He is, yeah.
Good big care mark there by Coughlin, who's jumped up from the Connick kick, marks it on centre grandstand side, puts it down, looking for Collins, got over the back, bouncing ball, good work by Jones, got the handball out, couldn't hit the target, Stacks on the mill, half forward right on there on the grandstand side, and it will be a ball up. The umpire says, give it to me and I'll throw it in the air.
Umpire throws it up now. Half forward, the Dragons, they're in attack. Hosking, he coughed it up, he gave it to Lawrence in the opposition. Stevens now receives for the Storm, kicks it smothered, slews along the ground on centre wing, picked it up here, Connick, handball to the back door. He spots up with the handball Mills and steps over the boundary line and will have a ball in.
I believe Wright then had to follow his opponent down to the back line, so Strather creating that run from half back.
Right. Ball thrown in centre wing, right in front of the grandstand. Hoskin gets rid of Ernst. Now a little tap off the pack, kick forward there and done inside was Moorhead. Couldn't quite get anyone on the end of it. Going in hard and underneath was Conforti. He couldn't control it, but Kerno just standing by himself is just taking an easy mark. Now they play on from fullback. They go long to the outer side. Can they put anyone on the end? Wilkins was there, going to get a free kick. It has been called play on. Went to, was play on and called there. Smith got it. Then it was handball back, tied up, and eventually the umpire said, no, give it to me, and I'll ball it up on the outer side, centre wing.
Yeah, Strathfieldsaye had a 3-on-1 then, and
Ernst wins the tap for the Storm, puts it in the path. Yeah.
Sorry about when Sandhurst were exiting their back 50, they kicked it to a 1-on-3. They were good enough to get the free kick and somehow mucked it up.
Feels like a little bit of a lacklustre start. You haven't got a goal on the board as yet. You need one on there early to get the teams up. Hosking against Ernst. Hosking for Sandhurst, lets it bounce, taps it over the top to Walsh. Walsh of the Dragons, short pass forward, looks for Stagg. Stagg collects on the run and then fumbled just at the last moment. Goes over the boundary line, swimming pool side, and we'll have another ball in. Footy fresh as Bendigo, football live. Sandhurst 2 behinds, the Storm yet to score. 5 minutes in, opening turn.
Just attacking side, centre wing, outer side of the QEO. Very tight tussle at the moment. Neither side can taking any control. Ball thrown up. Hosking got in front. We're going to get a free kick, and it will be going to the Dragons. Now on that left boot, he decides to go along inside forward 50. Who's the target? Maxted was. Couldn't take the mark. Ball at ground level. Quick one out to Paul Pratt. He gave it off to a teammate in Stagg. He came through, got a handball out. Now they go the 1-2 out to Mills. He stops, he props, he looks inside forward 50. Can someone take a grab? They can. Maxted, front of the pack.
Right, in fact. I think
was it?
Yep.
Right. I saw the 5. Couldn't see the boots. It is.
Touched,
Lockie
is
right. Touch, no. Yeah, it will be a ball up.
Off multiple hands, I believe.
All right. So the umpire said no, and he said, I'll ball it up. Quick kick in front. Dragons trying to work it around. They get the handball out. Can't hit a target. Oh, going Conforti got one high. Should get a free kick. Will get one, and a shot on goal from about 35 out. Well, and not much angle to talk about, so he should be able to go back. He quickly chips it on, and the umpire says, no, come back behind the mark. It will be a set shot.
It all seemed a bit casual to me, Mitro. I was wondering what was going on.
It did, yeah. No, with the marking contest, I believe it come off multiple hands, but as a crafty forward does, you claim absolutely everything.
You
And
must claim them, Mitch.
nearly bluffed him, but not quite. Conforti last time played on. I think that was distance and the breeze, but this time he should take his time, suck up his 30, go back and put it through the middle.
He will. He'll kick from about 35 metres out on the left. That's where you've got to start him. He got the distance, he got the accuracy, and he put it straight through the middle for the first of the afternoon. The Dragons go to 1-2-8. Storm yet to score here. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live. Well,
Yep, that's right. Both teams. You're seeing Mills there delivering into the forward 50. So both teams, and it's modern football now, isn't it? To create that run from behind the ball, and you'll see your half-backs continually up on the half-forward line and vice versa. Just about the run and carry. But ball use could be a little bit better. It's a bit windy, but the pressure out there is affecting, I think.
Well, if you have a look at the umpires with the T-shirts on, the central umpire here, look at the breeze that's blowing his light shirt. So that's an indication as Hosking against Leicester in the middle. Hosking wins the tap, ground level. It'll be Moorhead who emerges now for the Storm. He spots up Shishka on left half forward. The Storm go forward. Sharp at his ankles again. He's good enough, keeps his feet. Webb trying to get involved. Oh, tackle there, Wharton. Well, Ruff did well. He handballed it in the direction of Moorhead, so it's a turnover created through Jones. Jones of the Storm into the hot spot. Need to be careful. Front and centre is Shishka. He just threw that ball out. Umpire let it go. McCarty swoops on it directly in front. Curnow does well for the Dragons and ties them all up directly in front. And good defensive play, Dragons. Directly in front, Storm in attack. 8-point margin. Dragons lead. 8 minutes gone, opening turn.
ball thrown in the air. Hoskin, Leicester, neither can get on it. Picardi come through the pack, got it out the back. Now around the corner, quick kick going towards goal. He's put it through. That's Webb. And the first one on the board for the Storm. And Webb gets his first. They go to 1 straight 6. They trail the Dragons 1-2-8 here at the QEO. Preliminary final day. And Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah, good positioning and structure around the stoppages there from Strathfieldsaye, and Webb was able to capitalise and get one through.
So back into the middle. It's tightening up here, 2-point margin. Leicester for the Storm. Hosking just ragdolls him, grabs him out of the air, tries to handball it to Walsh. Creates a turnover. Wilson of the Storm socks it forward to Webb. Webb probably held without the footy. Umpire let it go. It's Wharton that picks it up. He bangs it into the centre, and Blandford does well. Short pass, it goes in the middle to Moorhead.
Moorhead takes the mark right in the centre of the ground. The Storm looking to go into attack again. He sums up the situation. He runs around the man on the mark. He goes long, deep inside. Big pack forms. Curnow gets the thump to it. Going over the back, Nally got the kick out. Good kick. Hits up McLean. He'll chip it inside. Under pressure. Need to take the mark. No one could. Moorhead dived on it. Put his hands over it. The umpire said, no, give it to me. I'll ball it up here on half forward right in front of us.
Probably 2 kicks out, Brian. So it's the Storm that are doing all the attacking at the moment as Hosking wins the tap for the Dragons. But emerging now, doing really well was Clossy. And we've got a diving Sharp. Takes a slip sketch at the top of the square and he's going to line them up for goal.
Now that's an advantage. Any young kids listening out there, always taught to play in front. So those quick kicks that come out of the packs fall forward every time, and that's where Sharp was. And it looks like he's capitalised and put it right through the middle.
He bangs it through to the city end. So Storm looking dangerous up forward through Sharp. He's had a number of forward entries and they will take the lead. They go to 2 goals straight 12. Sandhurst 1-2-8. Only gone 11 minutes. Opening term, Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah, it's great contest out there at the moment. The effort's there. We know the skills aren't, but that's due to the pressure. Definitely Strathfieldsaye are up for the fight today.
Ball back in the middle. Brereton up against Hosking. Neither got it. Went fell into the arms there of Clossy. He couldn't get it out. Couldn't hit a target. Dragons picked up by Coghlan. That was Lee. Gave it to Mills. He was under pressure and tackled quickly and held up. And the umpire said, give it to me. As the tackle was there by Harvey. The umpire said, I'll throw it in the air again. He does. Hoskin gets rid of his teammate. Stagg on the end of it. Cool tried to get the handball through. Ended up, came out to Connick. Went to Walsh. That was Noah. Put it inside forward 50. Got over the back. through Maxted's legs. Ball going back, a little toe poke off the ground, going back towards it and trying to get there was Radcliffe. He couldn't get there before the boundary line, over the line, out of bounds. A throw in, deep into attack for the Dragons, where we see at the moment the Storm 2 straight 12, lead the Dragons 1-2-8, 11.5 gone. First quarter, footy fresh. Here's Bendigo Football Live.
Dragons in attack, forward pocket, deep into the Barnard Street end. Up they'll go in the ruck. Hosking, he's been dominant so far, taps it to his feet. All tied up, Moorhead getting involved for the Storm. And we'll do it all again, another ball up in the forward zone. Umpire balls it up. Up they go again, Hosking taps it into the path of Lee Coughlin and put it on the outside of the boot. The goals are open and he's missed it for a minor score. It's now 9 playing 12 behind, 12 minutes gone opening term.
Well, the smarts of the old player that I mentioned earlier was in the right spot. And maybe the older body makes you miss the goal.
Geary from fullback, plays on, runs out of the square, chips it short, finds his teammate just in the forward pocket. Paul Pratt standing the mark, and hold it up, waiting for someone to get across. He decides to go long down the line, over the back of the pack. The big man there trying to get it was Lester. He didn't quite get it. Now coming inside, Thornton, quick kick inside, forward 50. No one can take the mark. Good defence though by the Storm. They force it out towards and kick it back, but it's been marked by Thornton.
Thornton now, he turns and goes. He'll put it to the hot spot for the Dragons. Bouncing footy, whistle. And what's it been? It's been a mark, has it? He's just plucked that from nowhere. James Coughlin, he'll line them up for goal. He was caught in the middle of a pack and he just read it better.
Yeah, Connick flew and he was a good 2 metres in front of the ball drop, and Coughlin just stayed down and said thank you very much.
Landed on his chest.
I was waiting for it to bounce out, and be a loose spill, but geez, this will be an important goal here. Coughlin, he's had a great season so far. He's hopefully got 2 games remaining. It'll go to the goal line. Off hand, need to kill it, the Storm. It's right at the top of the square. It's a sea of players. Whistle on play. It might be a free kick picked out at Eel, and it's Gill for the Storm.
Gill plays on from fullback. Yeah, Conforti got caught with the ball and, well, couldn't take it. Good mark, though. Coming out and taking a good, strong mark there was Day Wicks. He goes inside forward 50 on that left, gets it to a pack. And good, strong mark. Max, no, right again. That's a couple of nice, strong marks from Lockie. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal.
He needs to make this count. They've had a couple of shots now that are very gettable. We know this is going to be the difficult end to score at. These goals early now will be like gold in the bank.
It certainly will be. To put the Dragons back in front. They trail by 3 points. He'll kick from 30 metres out. Very little angle. The ball, watch it spin across the face and through for, no, it's gone. It's hit the post on the full, and it'll be a free kick to the Storm in the last line of defence. No score at all.
I was sitting right behind that then. It was dead on target, and the wind grabbed it and gone.
Shannon Geary now for the Storm from the back pocket. It's a long ball out of side. Curnow, fresh airy, comes to the back of the pack. One-on-one contest. Swooping on it is Brereton, the big man for the Storm. There's no one home. He's kicked it long underneath the scoreboard, bouncing, tumbling ball towards the boundary line. There was nobody within QE in the forward zone. He just had to kick it to space. Goes over and out for a ball in 30 metres around. The Storm attack, 3-point margin. Sandhurst trail halfway through this opening term. Preliminary final, footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Just ticked over 15 minutes in this first quarter. There's only been 3 goals kicked. Ernst up against the big man in Hoskin. He gets the tap down, puts his teammate there in Cooper Smith on the end of it, and he was quickly tackled and held up. Umpire said, give it a man, I'll ball it up again. Still only 30 metres out from the Storm goal. Winning it again, Hoskin, his own Clossy. Well, he went straight over the top, pushed his own teammate in the back. He was looking for the free kick. The umpire said, you can't get one for your own teammate pushing you. So he says, give it a man, I'll ball it up again.
Deep in the forward zone, Storm attack, Hosking. He's just dominating these taps. Sandhurst need to capitalise. A sea of players around the footy. Tanner Nelly at the bottom of the pack will have a stoppage. 30 out from goal for the Storm. 3-point.
A little bit of push and shove out there, a bit of feeling in the game, which is good to see.
3-point margin, 9 playing 12. Another lot of players around the footy. Ernst grabbed it and he tried to kick it and couldn't. Whistle. Might be a free kick for Storm. What was the hole, Brian? You got the binos on it?
Yeah, he got when he got the ball off the park, got the kick away, and then was pulled to the ground. Umpire said you held him too long.
So it's McCarty of the Storm, and this will increase the lead. I like what you said earlier about putting the gold in the bank there, Mitro. Now it's down the other end and they can do the same.
This is what happens. They got the scoring end, and this is an expectation that they will get these opportunities.
McCarty.
He's let that one go there, but that could have really hurt Sandhurst there in these early stages.
4-point margin, the Storm lead. 17 minutes gone opening term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live. John Hunter, Wayne Mitrovic, and this man, Brian Mansbridge.
Well, Curnow from fullback for the Storm. He plays on, he goes to the outer side. He decides to put plenty of distance on it to the outer wing. Then a good strong mark standing up there was Connick. Took the mark for the Dragons. He'll chip it over the top, had the lead coming forward. There was Paul Pratt, he couldn't get it. Nice quick kick out of there by Gill. He put it forward, but cutting it off was Smith. He handballed it, but then it was smothered. That was good work by the defence of the Storm. Over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in. Where the arc of 50 meets the boundary line on the outer side forward pocket in front of the scoreboard, where we see it's a 4-point lead to the Storm. 17, nearly 18 minutes gone. First quarter of the Premier League final.
Both sides have missed the opportunity to take advantage and put Majors on the scoreboard. Leicester tries to use his body against Hosking and tumbles him over, and we'll have a stoppage. There's a bit of a weight difference between those two. Right on 50 for the Storm. Hosking uses his body, did well. Kick was smothered by Hunter Lawrence, did well. Going goal. Just a sea of arms and legs. Umpire's doing well to let it go, but he's going to have to adjudicate here and say, give us the footy and I'm going to ball it up.
Well,
4-point margin?
He eventually did, but it took a long time. He's letting it go, giving them all opportunities to get the ball out of the pack. Ball in the air. Coming through was Coughlin. A little quick kick through the pack, didn't get through. Got a high tackle there. Mills going to get a free kick for the Dragons, right on the his defensive 50 on the outer side in front of the scoreboard. And he'll take the free kick there for the Dragons. Darcy Mills, he decides to go out wide. Good kick, finds his teammate Connick. Has a runner in Smith. He decides not to give it to him. Goes down the line. Big men need to fly. Maxted from 3 back, couldn't quite get his hands on it. Ball at ground level, picked up by Conforti. He got tackled and pinged, throwing the ball, and a free kick to the Storm on half back on the outer side.
So Storm looking to get one before quarter time. It's McCarty with the footy. It's been good. Short pass. He goes backwards in order to come forward to Gill. Gilwood now into the middle to Hallinan. Oh, juggling ball that was nervous. He was good enough. He'll handball it to Ratcliffe, who was running behind him. Ratcliffe, he's got Moorhead on at 50. Back of the pack, Hallinan getting involved as well. In fact, it was Slater. Comes off hands. And they were out there, the Storm, if they could only take a mark, and they couldn't. 51 metres out from Storm's goal. 4-point margin, Sandhurst trail, 20 minutes gone opening turn.
Leicester, Hosking, well, getting it was Wharton, but he was quickly tackled and brought to ground. And the umpire said, give it to me and I'll ball it up. It's not coming out of there. As right on the defensive 50 for the Dragons. Little tap back. Conforti on the end of it, gets through the pack, gets a left boot, puts it up and under. Big pack flies, and well, Jones is going to get a free kick for a front on contact. Can't do that, says the umpire. You can't run straight back. Didn't think there was much in it, Metro. Ball inside forward 50. Ernst was there, knocked to ground. Smith got it, gave it back to Wharton. Wharton banged it on the boot, but it's all the Storm standing here, and Gill takes the mark for the Storm on half forward.
Gill, short pass. Spots up his teammate Hunter Lawrence. Lawrence now for the Storm. All players in front of the centre circle. It's a sea of players, and he spotted up Shishka. How can you pick out a player there and there's just a sea of them? Shishka plays on. Conforti did well for the Dragons, smothered it. Shishka's good enough. Collects his footy. Ernst to the target. Poor kick. And it's going to be a turnover, and he kicked it straight to the opposition in Bryce Curnow. Read it well, Curnow, though. He knew where the fall of the ball was going. He decides to go out the outer side. Big pack forms up before acceptances, and a free kick is going to go to the Storm in Mays.
for the Storm. He decides to play on. He arcs. He puts it to the dangerous spot. Over the back. Bouncing ball. Who was there? Good work by Shiska. Got the handball out. The Dragons, though, got the defence. Well, McLean got the handball away. Gill then got a tackle. Throwing the ball. It's going to be a advantage paid. No real advantage in it. Dragons got the numbers. Picking it up and trying to get in there was Wharton, but it was Stacks on the mill. And the umpire says, give it to me, and I'll ball it up on half back here for the Dragons. Storm into attack. Grandstand side where we see it's a 4-point margin, 21 and a half gone. First quarter of the preliminary final here at the home of the footy, the QE.
Back umpire Baxter threw it in the air and Hosking tapped it to half back. Wilson for the Storm getting involved. Also Jones. Umpire let it go, umpire Baxter, and said, I will ball it up. Right half forward. Storm attack. City end. 4-point margin. Storm lead. Couple of minutes remaining in this opening term. Hosking, handball, good strong tackling Storm. Will it create a turnover? It won't. Conforti's good enough. On the left. Bangs it. Hallinan dropped a mark he should have taken. Smack bang in the middle. Then he's good enough. Handball over the top. The heat is on in the kitchen. Whistle on play, the Storm. And what was that, Mitro?
Dangerous tackle from the umpire, swinging him into the hard turf in the middle.
Hallahan. He just chips it out wide. Finds his teammate. Now they go forward with a long kick inside forward 50. Nally stands under it. He got crunched. Ball to ground level. Picked up and trying to burst out air the Dragons' defence, but unable to. And that was James Coughlin, and he decides that the umpire, give it to me, and I'll ball it up about 45 out from the Storm goal. A 4-point lead. Deep into this first quarter, Hoskin takes it out of the pack. He bangs it on the boot, puts it out wide, coming over the top. There was Wilkinson, and he takes an easy mark on the outer side.
Matty Wilkinson, laterally across half back to Ireland. Ireland now of the Dragons. He goes, plays on quickly to the broadcast side wing. Jake McLean collects. Handballs to Nally, makes him work. Poor handball, but they've got the safety numbers. Surely Darcy Mills gets cobbled high, and does. The offending player was Slater of the Storm. Mills, short, good bullet ball. Noah Walsh receives. Dragons centre wing, broadcast side. Short pass forward, looking for Andy Collins. Wasn't good enough. Moorhead, handballs forward. Getting involved is Stevens as well. Handballs to Webb, who handballs it out of bounds. He had Clossy running shotgun and he missed him, and it'll be a throw-in.
Yeah, but that was a turnover. Sandhurst's short game could improve a little bit, just turning it over with those little 25-metre kicks, I think.
Just not hitting the targets, trying to pinpoint ones in amongst the pack. Ball thrown in. Neither ruckman get anywhere near it. Well, Stevens got a handball out to Jones. He went out the back and gave it to Wilson, who banged it on the forward boot, put it inside forward 50. One-on-one contests everywhere, picking it up and doing nicely. There was Harvey. He put it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball got away from Daywicks. He couldn't pick it up. Now Stacks on the mill about 15 metres out from the Storm goal. Umpire eventually puts the arm in the air and says, give it to me, and I'll ball it up about 15 out from the Storm scoring zone.
Hosking tried to grab it out of the air. Needs to be careful. Conforti had a fresh area at it, then held without the footy. A whale too high. Didn't matter. It was both of them. So Conforti, the Dragons, deep in his defensive zone. Almost right up against the goal line. He's invited to play on by the umpire and does. Dumps it long beyond 50. They'll set themselves. Oh, big specky fly by Jones. Couldn't get his handball on it. Right. What's he going to be paid here? He coughed up the footy. In fact, he was held without it. No, it's the opposite. It's going to be, they picked it out to Clossy of the Storm, who's 51 metres out from goal.
Yeah, Ping for holding it. He didn't get it away correctly. He tries to go right across the other side. Big pack forms over the top. Connick was there. At the base of the pack there was Stevens. He couldn't get it as well for the Storm. Eventually the umpire says, give it to me, as, well, a multitude of players get themselves up off the ground. 45 metres out from the Dragons. Walsh came through the pack, gave it to Curnow. He banged it on the boot, put it up and under. Got to Maxted. He tried to get a kick, but it was smothered. Ball went straight up in the air. Connick got it down, picked up by Conforti. Now on his right boot, went around the corner. Tried to chip it out to Paul Pratt, but he might have got too much on it. It's gone over the line, out of bounds, and the full for a free kick to the Storm on half forward. 25 and a half, nearly 26 gone, 4-point lead to the Storm here in the preliminary final.
It was Malik Gordon for the Storm who coughed it up. He kicked it straight to Stagg of the Dragons, standing underneath scoreboard, which sees his side trail by 4 points. Stagg now. He goes long, beyond 50, outer side, big pack forms, ball spills to the front of the pack. Moorhead gets his hands on the footy, gives it to Hallinan. Hallinan will arc out of there and then come to Jones. Jones, short pass, turnover. McLean at the 40, don't argue by Hosking of the Dragons. Spilled there to McLean. McLean on the left. There is no one home. No one home except for Jones of the Storm. He'll spread it wide and they'll work their way out nicely through Shannon Geary.
Geary chips it over the top, had the run and found the man in Mays, who takes the mark on half-back on the outer side. He'll chip it forward. Had the runner Harvey, who came out and took the mark. Still on half-forward. He goes back, goes towards Geary. Geary takes it now. He decides to switch it all the way across. Has a player in Lawrence. Takes the mark. Collins tries to get there to smother. Ball came through the middle. Nice mark taken by Brereton. And he will just hold it up into the centre of the ground. He'll chip it out wide and you'll find Clossy, centre wing, out of on the grandstand side.
Clossy. Handballs, teammate Jones. Jones short pass, Shishka. Oh, fumbling ball could have almost been paid. Shovels it to Hallinan. Hallinan through the legs. That's a throw, surely. McCarty going to get away with it though, and it's going to be. Well, I don't know if I like that. It was a bit of tunnel ball. We'll talk about it when we come back at the other side of the break. Quarter time in the grand final in the MCDFNL. Harcourt 6-3-39 lead. Carisbrook 2-4-16 thanks to Norm Jenkin. And in the Bendigo Football League, the preliminary final, Sandhurst trail 1-3-9 to the Storm 2-1-13. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home.
So you definitely have him having a crack, even though he's been caught a couple of times. I thought he's been good as well.
Well, for the Storm, I thought Harvey was pretty good there in a couple of incidents. Jones on this wing out here had plenty of it and chipped it around and used it. Stevens was good down back. Moorhead has been pretty hard at it and gets a lot of the pill. And along with McCarty, who has been in their forward half, he's really does use the ball well, going in their forward 50. So it's going to be a difficult quarter of footy coming up here in this second quarter.
Goal kickers, Sam Conforti, the only goal kicker for Sandhurst, and singles for the Storm. Sharp had one and Webb has the other. And I won't dwell on it too much, but I'm going to have a look at the footage later. It was an interesting tunnel ball, handball underneath the legs just before quarter time. You can't do that, can you?
No. I wouldn't have thought you could, but well, the umpire was pretty well right on it, so he obviously thought that it was okay. So I'm not too sure what happened, but
We're
anyway.
just about to get the second quarter underway. When we get the chance, Mitro, I'll just ask you what you thought of the first quarter. But yeah, probably opportunities missed in my book for Sandhurst. 1-3-9, they trail the Storm 2. For the second term, here's Brian Mansbridge, Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Ruckman set themselves. Hoskin wins it down. Can't put anyone on the end of it. It's going to come out to Moorhead. He just rode the bump, then threw the ball out. Wilkinson should be first back there. No, it's Connick, sorry. Tries to pick it up. Conforti does. He gives it back. Went all the way back. Now they need to settle the Dragons. Can't get it out. Come out, and there was a quick kick from Clossy inside. Up and under, front square though. Conforti now on that left boot, goes out wide, hits the man he needed in Coughlin on centre wing, chips it back over the top, had the runner Stagg coming out towards him, was Collins as well. Stagg put it in the air and then got tackled and brought to ground. He'll get the free kick just inside the square, heading towards the city end of the QEO.
Bit of a wrestle going in on the goal square, then they dive at the footy. Maxted probably should have took it, it was just at his fingertips. And eventually a stoppage is caused directly in front, 30 metres out.
Just at that first ball up there, Leicester copped a knock from the opposing ruckman, but it looks like he's recovered. They don't want him to go down today, that's for sure.
Blandford picks it up for the Storm, kicks it to half-back. Contest forms, spills inside, forward 50 again. Conforti's in the area. Wright does well. Handballs it out to McLean. McLean to the top of the square. Matthew Wilkinson, if the ball sits for him, he's got 15 metres, just needs to steady, calmly, poor kick. He's kicked it over, caused a turnover and kicked it straight to James Shishka.
Shishka chips it down the line, finds his teammate there in Webb, who takes the mark in front of us. Thanks, Johnny. This is what I like, just nice and close to me.
You're complaining about your eyesight a bit earlier?
I am, you can't see. Past the enemy
should I
nose.
call you, or?
Ball kicked off the pack, but it's going towards Walsh, who gets tackled. Wilson's got hold of him, he should have got rid of it. It was touched off the boot. And eventually Wilson will get the free kick on centre wing for the Storm, right in front of the grandstand here of the QEO. We played just on 2 minutes. No score in this second quarter. He decides to go down the line, coming across, taking an easy mark was the backman for the Dragons as he kicks it along the line. Can't hit the target. Rough, was it?
Yeah, it was Rough.
Kicked it and eventually over the line right in front of us. Johnny, you can take it from here.
Well, I'll ask Mitro about the opportunities lost against the Wind for in that first term.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be hard to get scoring opportunities, and there was 3 genuine chances that they didn't take there, and could have really put them on the front foot heading into the start of this second quarter.
It's that score pressure, isn't it? As Hosking wins it out of the ruck and handballs it to Stagg. He puts it looking for right inside forward 50. Lawrence, the Storm, tidies up. Shannon Geary by hand goes to Moorhead. He's got a player on in McCarthy breaking for him on the wing. Geez, he might have got tunnelled. Umpire let it go. He shovels it out in the direction of his teammate in Slater. A little bit of a don't argue inside forward 50 now. Webb, he's just outside of 50 in fact. Webb, he'll go to a hard lead. And Sharp, he looked to play on, I reckon, and does. He got sucked in there, Rough. He looked around at the umpire, and Sharp's kicked the goal. No, he hasn't. Jeez.
Not far away. Would have been near impossible from there, but if one man's going to do it, it's probably going to be Sharpie.
And he sucked him in, didn't he? So it's a 5-point margin. Storm lead, 3 minutes gone. Second term, footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Kerno right down the middle of the ground. Got to the centre of the QEO. Stacks on the mill. Paul Pratt there. And eventually, umpire says it's not coming out. Give it to me and I'll ball it back up. Wilson was the last man. It was Geary the last man up. Tap off McCarty. Got it out, couldn't get it. Then Stagg went over the top. He just, stacks on the mill again. The umpire says, give it to me. I'm hearing that whistle over there on the outer side at the netball. I was waiting for him to stop, but they kept going. Ball in the air again. Hosking this time grabs it out of the ruck and then gets pinged for holding the ball. Wilson decides to take it and play on for the Storm. He goes inside forward 50. Finds Webb around the corner, kicks it a long way back, but Ireland jumps up and takes an easy mark in defence for the Dragons on the outer side. The
A-grade netball is underway, Mitro, so Gisborne lead Castlemaine 7-4. So I'll bring you those updates as frequently as I can. Big game out there for Castlemaine, who have got into the finals for the first time in a long time. James Coglin's getting a lot of the footy. He's got it on the wing now. Good pass and a good lead. It was Andy Collins, slid into the footy. Collins now turns and go. Maxted jumped at the footy, keeps his feet. Handball over the top, McLean to Connick. Connick's too far out to score. Poor kick. Turnover, gives it to Hunter Lawrence, and now the Storm are away.
Kicks it to centre wing. 1 on 3 or 4 as the ball runs towards the boundary line. Isaac Ruff just wearing Sharpie very, very closely.
Second time the cute short kick's been cut off this quarter.
Yeah.
Maybe Sanders can go a bit more direct with the bruise.
Wasn't a good option, was it?
No, ball thrown back in, right in front of us. Big tap away. Walsh should be first there. Stevens did very well. Knocked him off the ball for the Storm, then tried to go all the way through. Got a high tackle. We'll get a free kick here right in front of us on halfback.
Handballs to a running Lawrence. Lawrence of the Storm. He'll go to the outer side of the wing, looking for Harvey. Harvey takes a mark. Shout out to his grandfather, Jim, who's listening this afternoon. He's just dropped his cup of tea or stubby or whatever he's enjoying out there. Shannon Geary received on half forward. Sharp was the target, but Ruffle mock up with a turnover to Nelly. Juggling ball on the fingertips, outer side. Short pass over the top. Jake McLean receives.
McLean gets it on half back. Dragons on the outer side. They decide to go long down the wing. Maxted was the target, used his body well, got it, kicked it inside forward 50. They got all open, thought it will take an easy mark, 10 metres out, directly in front, ball knocked out of his hands. It's got to be a 50-metre penalty. He'll go to the line, bang it through. The Dragons get the first of the second quarter. Well, it opened up down the ground. They go to 2-3-15 here at the QEO. And it's 2-3-15 or 2-2-14. They lead by a point. We've played just on 6 minutes here in this second quarter.
It happened just then. I watched the under-16 grand final here today. The most dangerous part of play with this breeze, everyone on that wing was getting the ball over the contest into space, and the teams would be running. So even if the opposition get the ball, they're running towards the wrong direction. That was the most dangerous play, and it just played out right then.
Yeah. Back into the middle, restart. Hosking in the ruck, wins easily. It was against Brereton of the Storm. Blandford, in fact, Moorhead held without the footy. Umpire let it go. Hosking, we might be looking at the Mickelson medalist when we call his name I do feel, and he's been dominant this afternoon.
Is that Monday night?
Monday night.
Monday night, Sunday, or tomorrow? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Monday night. He's got to be up there in favouritism, and he's just killing it here at the moment. As contested footy, Stevens couldn't win it. Walsh does. Now they're away. Smith, half forward, open it up. Lee Coughlin. They're lining up everywhere. Good vision. In fact, he might have went to right. He didn't. It was Maxted instead. Maxted around the body. He's kicked it on the meat of the footy. I don't reckon he flushed it, and he didn't. You could just tell the way it was spinning. Lucky to be a score, and it is a minor one. So it's 2-point margin, 16 playing 14.
Opportunity missed there by the Dragons. They had him on toast there, and they
muffed it.
Yeah, they just stuffed it right up.
There, Geary went to Lawrence. Lawrence went down the wing. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to Slater, but then taking it was Harvey. Decided to play on. Advantage played. Going inside forward 50. Curnow just leant into his opponent, took the mark, played on, chipped it over the top, found Coughlin. That was James, and he'll take the mark just inside the back end of the centre square. He goes out wide. Had a teammate all by himself out there in Day Wicks. He went long inside forward 50, big pack form. Ball knocked front and square, picked up there nicely in the defence, and around the corner goes to Geary. He looked inside, bouncing ball. Oh, getting a big tackle, Blandford. He was pinged, and it'll be a free kick to the Dragons, 35 metres out with very, very little play to go.
There's a Storm player, I reckon it's Brereton behind the play.
Yeah,
it was
over
in
the far
Oculus,
side.
wasn't against Curnow. I reckon it was just an accident.
Yeah, I think when Curnow leant on him, he pushed him into Sandhurst player,
Yeah.
Right.
coming back with the flight.
Thornton has the ball in front of the scoreboard, deep in the pocket. City end, leans on it, goes around the corner, gets a good kick and puts it through. Thornton and the Dragons get their third. 3-4-22, 2-2-14 here in the CF Premier Final at the QEO. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
As a team, you love to see that. That was full defensive pressure. Wilkinson's tackle affecting the kick. You don't see it a lot, but when you do, it makes everyone stand a bit taller. Wilkinson's kicking, you can let him down at times, but you can't knock his effort. Like, he'll do that all day.
Yeah, and Matty Thornton, I put the heat on him before the game, and he's responding. And Lee Coughlin's been influential as well. From the restart, though, it's McCarty who wins it for the Storm. That holds up in the breeze as well, which is an indication. Curnow does well, punches it towards the boundary line, and it goes over. And we'll have a ball in broadcast side. In the A-grade netball, it's tightened up over in the netball court. Gisborne lead by a goal, 11 playing 10 against Castlemaine.
Thrown in centre wing. Hoskin, Lester. Hoskin gets rid of his opponent, picks it up, gets the handball off, goes inside. Conforti runs into a front-on crash to Geary, gets no further. Ball pops out the back, picked up by Lee Coughlin, kicked it around the corner, not 15. Geary takes it, gives it off to his teammate in Lawrence. They go through the centre of the ground, bouncing ball, running into it. Should be the Storm. They got the numbers, picked up nicely by Clossy, gave it off to Lawrence. He went back to Clossy. He decided to go out wide and find Jones on the outer side.
Jones, too far out to score. Short pass to Lawrence. Lawrence of the Storm. Kicks it, holds up in the breeze again. Geez, it's having an influence. But good, strong, contested mark, Bode Stevens. Short pass, poor checking. And the Storm are going to get another look through. Sharp. Sharp drills it toward goal. He allowed for the breeze. But Curnow right up hard against the boundary line, goal line, takes a mark, and it's no score. He short passes it over the top, and he spots Day Wicks. Day Wicks comes back to the opposite pocket, just moving it nicely, and in fact, they muffed it again. And it goes out of bounds, and we'll have a ball in the deep in the pocket. 22 playing 14, Sandhurst lead, almost halfway through this second term in the preliminary final. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Can't afford to not hit those switch kicks, Metro, when you're coming across the face of goal. No, especially when you've got a player all by himself.
Can be costly.
Yep, ball thrown back in, knocked to ground level, running on through the pack there, but the Dragons got the numbers. McLean will end up on the end of it, decides to hold it, gives it off now. They run from half back. They kick it long. Thornton the target. Front and square was Wilkinson. He got it, got tackled, brought to ground by his opponent, and it's going to be a free kick, and it will be to Blandford.
Yeah, Andy Collins just needed to get in there to protect Wilkinson, then just couldn't quite get there.
Chip it inside. He finds the man that's had plenty of it this quarter in Lawrence.
Lawrence, and he's coughed it up. He's kicked it straight to Day Wicks. Day Wicks now of the Dragons. He'll go long. Andy Collins has got the sit from behind. Probably didn't have the leap that he usually has. Front and centre. Good work. Nice little pass. Ends up with Lee Coughlin. Pays on quickly. Goalward. And should have made them pay. That's twice Lee Coughlin has had the opportunity and has missed. So it's now 23 playing 14. 12 and a half gone second term. And that could be cost at the end of the game.
Crazy to think. 2 kicks. It can be a big difference between having a ripping day and an ordinary day.
Certainly can. Lawrence now coughed up the last one, turned it over, plays on from full back. He decides to go long to the outer side. Big pack will form. Oh, big fly from behind was Houlihan. He couldn't take the mark. Ball goes forward. And now they keep running it during and going inside forward 50 was Shiska, went over the back, it's 2-on-1. Sharp got rid of his man, turned the bloke inside out, chipped it around the corner, and Gill went and kicked a goal. That's from coast to coast for the Storm. Gill kicks their third of the afternoon. They go to 3-2-20. They trail the Dragons 3-5-23 here at the QEO in this Primitive final. We played 13.5 in the second quarter.
I didn't want to be too harsh on Lee then. Plenty of time to put a few through the middle yet for him, but we can see there, well, that's the GST on the costly mistake, isn't it, of not converting. Goes down the other end within 30 seconds, the opposition get a goal.
Classic 2-goal turnaround, isn't it? And now the pressure, the scoreboard pressure's back the other way because it's tightened right up. The Storm trail by 3. Hosking will get a free kick.
High tackle, he put his arm right around him.
He's just probably intimidated by him, you would think, and why wouldn't you be? There's no shame in that. Goes deep inside forward 50. Day Wicks, he was sharked the footy and he went goalward and just didn't quite get enough on it. He was pushed as he kicked it for a minor score. 4-point margin, Dragons lead. Midway through this second term, footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Shannon Geary from fullback, lays on, he'll chip it over the top. He's got a teammate on the outer side. Take an easy mark in Mays. In front of the scoreboard. 14.5 gone. QEO, City End. He tries to chip it and find a teammate. Gets over the back, and Geary, well, he gave it to him and he went all the way out there and receives the second one. He chips it over the top this time. Not the best of kick again. Going through the pack, the Dragons get tackled. It stacks on the mill. Good tackle by Radcliffe, who brought his opponent to ground. And Paul Pratt will be the last off the bottom of the pack. And it'll be a ball up just on slightly attacking side of centre wing to the Dragons.
Hosking grabbed it out of the air and handballed it. A look away handball to Lee Coughlin. He's got Maxted just lost side of the footy coming in over his shoulder, and that was half an opportunity, if not a full opportunity.
Yeah, look, Maxted running back towards goal and just lost the positioning of the ball, and what looked like might have been a chest mark. It gets over and runs over the boundary line. Another little opportunity, but they're still in the forward line and they get another crack here.
Lee Coughlin, another one to put the pressure on early, and he's standing up, albeit he's missed a couple of gettable goals. Hosking uses his body. They were awake to it on that occasion. Good work, Storm. They tied him up because he was heading goalward, 25 metres out directly in front. Sandhurst lead, 4-point margin, 16 minutes gone, second term.
Ball in the air, Hoskin off the pack, picked up by Lee Coughlin. Little chip around the corner, through for a minor score.
Well, there he bobbed up again there, so that's his third opportunity. So what are we doing for it? We've got to get the thing in our hands. Tick, he's getting it in his hands. We've got to make a decision. Tick, he's making the right decision. Third, we need to execute the decision. That bit there, we tick that box. He's going to be having a ripping day.
He certainly is. And from fullback.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, is it?
Yeah.
There should be a song about that, shouldn't there?
Yeah. Big fella. Meatloaf. Webb from fullback. He decides to come to the grandstand side this time. Big pack forms. Big pack. Ball knocked front and square. Getting underneath it was Wilkinson. He got tackled, brought to ground by Gill. The umpire said, no, give it a man, I'll ball it up. Right in front of us here on half forward. Thrown in the air, Thornton in the ruck, punches it forward, gets it over the back. Ball there tapped out. posse on the end of it. He has to make a decision, good decision, chips it in, finds his teammate there in Jones.
Jones handballs to McCarty. McCarty goes to the outer side, finds Hallinan. Hallinan of the Storm, short pass over the top. Looks for Slater and finds him. He let it bounce and he handballed it over the top. Oh, it was ineffective. He cocked it up. Yeah, I'm going to use that word. You're getting me swearing this afternoon, Mitro. You must be bringing the best out of me. As the ball's still on the outer side, and it will be a stoppage. Umpire blows his whistle. Half-time in North Central, Sea Lake Nandali 7-9 to Nullarbor 4-5, who are just hanging in there. And Josh Jenkins, who's playing up there, has got 4 on the board.
Hard man to stop. Big Josh. Ball thrown in. This time over the back, and they knock it down. Walsh had a fresh area. No, it wasn't Walsh. It was actually Mills. Lance just stays in amongst the pack, and eventually the umpire says, no, give it to me, and I'll ball it up. Outer side centre wing here at the QEO. Premier final day. Well, it is 3-7 plays 3-2. 5-point ball game as the ball goes inside forward 50. Bouncing ball picked up by Paul Pratt. Went out wide. Had a teammate there in Stagg. He looks inside forward 50. Big pack. No one can take the mark. Front and square right. Gets the handball off. Gives it to McLean. Went back to Collins. On the left around the corner. Bouncing ball. Well, the defence is working hard as Webb eventually just taps it through and puts a minor score. 3-8. Now the Dragons. 3-2-20. The Storm. We played 18 and a half in the second quarter. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Webb for the Storm. Plays on. Gallops off from fullback. Sends it to the outer side. Swimming pool side. Poor kick. Turnover. It's going to be a Dragons mark. It's Connick with the footy. Plays on quickly. Now he goes back inside forward 50. Collins was the target. Spills at ground level. Webb, little handball to Moorhead. Moorhead puts it on the outside of the boot. And he spots up Harvey, who's taken a mark. Harvey turns and goes. He'll go to the wing. And he's been quiet today is Malik Gordon.
Gordon over the top. Finds a teammate running down, and Shishiska grabs the mark. Now they go inside forward 50. Who can take the mark? Good pack forms. No one can pick him up with Sharp. On the right boot, what can he do? He does a nice little chip, and he finds a teammate there in Wilson, who looks out, chips it in to another teammate who will go back and have an easy shot on goal, and it will be Moorhead directly in front. 40 metres out, will kick from, he might be 35 on the mark. He'll kick from about 42 or 3. Well, we saw what the ball did earlier, Metro. We'll keep an eye on this one. Moorhead for the Storm. Comes in, starts it in the right position, kicks it hard, and it goes straight through the middle. And it's back to a squared ball game. 26 apiece here in the second quarter. We've played just into time on. And Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah, Sandhurst had a couple of shots from that exact position and failed to make the distance on one of the occasions and missed another. And you do that, then it puts you in the game. So you got less scoring shots, but the score is level.
All tied up. Let's hope it's like that for the rest of the afternoon. What a magnificent afternoon of football. Preliminary final, that's what you asked for, Brian. And which are, if you can't be involved in it, we've got the best seats in the house. In the ruck now. Brereton couldn't win it for the Storm. Moorhead. Stagg did well to tie him up and just forward of centre for the Dragons. We'll have another ball up. Up they go in the ruck again. Looks like Thornton doing the ruck work now.
Yes.
Right, he's involved. Moorhead, fresh airy, manages to paddle it out. Smith, he collects now. Bear Thornton gives it to Noah Walsh. Inside forward 50. Maxted's the target. Matty Wilkinson swoops on it. Handball to a teammate running side by side. He's Coghlan James, who bangs it through. The Coghlan boys getting involved, and it's James who manages to slot one through on this occasion. So they go to 4-8, 32. The Storm 4-2, 26, and we're into red time, 21 and a half minutes. Second term, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
So James Coghlan was just in the back line and hadn't been in the forward line for more than 30 seconds. So that was a master stroke by the coach there to move forward, instant impact.
Well, Hoskin has had a rest. Don't see him come off the ground very often, but being such a warm afternoon, He's taking his medicine and came to the bench. Had 5 minutes probably, that's about all.
It's been good though, because Bears actually won a couple of taps and got him into the game.
He certainly has. And, well, the ball has gone into the car park. That is chock-a-block here at the Curio. There's plenty of numbers around as we look down the Barnard Street end underneath the nice area of shade there along the bottom. Very nice.
They're not very rowdy though, are they?
No,
There's a decent
very
crowd,
quiet.
but it's just might get a bit more exciting if it's still this close in another hour or so, I guess.
Well, Hosking back in the middle of the ground. He will go up against the big man in Brereton for the Storm, and it will be on again. Conforti's been fairly quiet. He's been shut down nearly all day, and he is being taken out by Moorhead. Well, this time Hoskin wins it down. He gets it to Walsh, I should say. He went there, back, looked, found Smith off the half-back. They go inside forward 50, got over the back again. Front and square though, Storm, good work by Geary. He handballed it out. It ended up on the outer side. Radcliffe kicked it up and under, but Conforti takes the mark. He plays on quickly, gets on the left boot, goes inside forward 50, bouncing ball over the back, bouncing towards the line, and it will be a throw-in in the forward pocket, city end, grandstand side here, where we see it is a 6-point ball game. The Dragons lead 32 to 26, 23 and a half gone, second quarter.
Umpire throws it in. Dragons, Hosking, held without the footy, I dare say. His arm was held. Brereton could sense that he was goal side then, I reckon. Mitron panicked.
Look, lucky they got the opportunity here. Conforti there, great positioning, got the turnover, 55 out with a fair breeze behind his back. He just needs to take more time and back himself.
Yeah.
He should be the
Be
one
more
with the
confident,
composure.
yeah.
He knows what his strengths are. He should have went back. He can still, man has to stand now. He can run around on his arc, kick it in, but now we've got the ruckman having a shot. This will be interesting.
Well, I just sense he might be a nervous goal kicker. Will he do anything different to his normal kicks? That's banging it out of the middle. Does he bang it through the middle? He does. They extend the lead. Scoreboard pressure, 5-8-38 to 4-2-26 now. Only a couple of minutes remaining in this second term of the preliminary final. Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Yes, the big man there. He did a ripping job by foot there. He's so big and strong. He had front position of that contest. You can't
Worries
blame
the
us.
other ruckman
He
out,
did. He's
yeah.
running towards goals, going to take possession. The Strath player had no option really except to try to influence, and unfortunately got pinged.
Well, you're talking about Conforti. He's kicked that, you know, probably nearly 60 metres in the end of it, past the goals on the outer side, and it was closer to kick it towards the goals. So he just needs to be a little bit calm. I think sometimes he tries to bring his teammates into the game rather than trying to take the opportunity to kick a goal.
Nothing wrong with being the main man, bro.
No, that's right, Wayne. You were many times the main man. And, well, the ball, again, ended up a long way back as we get tick into the 25-minute mark here of this second quarter. The Dragons now take a 12-point lead. So, ball back in the middle, kicking with the breeze to the city end. Up in the ruck, Hosking over the top, though. It was Walsh, gave the handball over the top. Connick came off the boundary, off the square, couldn't take it. Moorhead ended up with it. He'll go inside forward 50, standing underneath. Big pack forms, no one can take the mark. Ball dropped, Stevens couldn't pick it up. Nicely done by Ireland. He got a quick kick away. It's going to end up with Wilkinson. Oh, he fumbled what he shouldn't have dropped. Lawrence picks it up, kicks it around the corner for the Storm. Goes inside 50 and finds Gill. Not quite inside 50. He's probably 65 out. Looks inside, lowers his eyes. Ball got up. Good work. And a good strong mark. Now they have a shot on goal. And it'll be Slater who'll go back and have a shot for the Storm. 26 minutes gone. He looks as... Well, they allow the player just to walk around Harvey. Slater now for the Storm. Arcs around. It's not going to come back from that side. He goes deep inside forward 50. Big pack forms. Ireland goes up and takes an easy mark in the defence for the Dragons.
Short pass.
Short pass. He goes out and talks it.
I did it again,
Little
Brian.
one, Coggo, over the top. Coghlan chips it in. Now they've got the run from fullback. McLean gives the handball to Paul Pratt. Gets the 1-2. Now to centre wing. Half back, half forward for the Dragons. Daywick's running onto a ball. Needs to get there. Kenny can't. Good work. Hallahan was there. Hallahan. Now a check side from the boundary line. Oh, just missed. Took the risk. Tried to put it through for a minor score. 5-9-39. The Dragons 4-2-26. 27 minutes gone. Second quarter. Footy Fresh is Video Football Live. Wait till I tell Joel that again.
He's probably into the fine jar that goes. In my defence, I've got two hats on. I had my producer's hat on then.
Yeah, quick tap on the shoulder. Quick, you take it.
Some would argue I do my best calling when I haven't got the headsets on. As we go beyond 50, Noah Walsh collects. Handballs forward. Looks for McLean. McLean overruns the footy, then fell over. And a little bit of hoppo bumpo and a little bit of wrestling mania going on the outer side. As the boys just introduce themselves together again. Umpire Baxter will ball it up. Lester ragdolled again by Hosking, but he gave it straight to Lawrence, so it causes a turnover. Hurried kick by the Storm to the wing, and that's another turnover straight to Bryce Curnow of the Dragons.
Curnow. Now he'll just hold it up. He knows that it's deep into red time. 28 minutes gone. He goes long, inside forward 50. Can someone take a mark? Big punch from behind by Webb. And he's put that right over the boundary line towards the scoreboard on the outer side. And
Storm under pressure here late in the quarter. Just need to hold on, get possession of the ball and kill any opportunity from Sandhurst to score.
Ball deep into attack. Dragons front of the on the outer side. We are throwing right on the arc of 50. Ball thrown back in. Ruckman set themselves. Lester worked his Hosking underneath the ball. Then it was a little tap off the ground. It ended up with Jones. Stepped on back onto his left boot. Kicked it around the corner. Got it to the wing. But Curnow again just taking a good mark on centre wing on the outer side.
Short pass. Oh, awkward for Walsh. Causes a turnover. Sharps up the field. Gives it to Harvey. He causes a turnover to Ruff. Now it's the Dragons. Will they turn it over again? Play. They're playing, well, they're sharing it around both clubs, and eventually we'll have a stoppage. A little bit going on in the forward pocket there, Mitro.
Yeah, a little bit behind the play there, a 2-on-2, so it's even. We'll just let them go.
Why not? Good old style.
Quick kick out of the pack by Walsh. Puts it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Going over, Paul Pratt breaks the tackle, gives the handball a long way back to McLean on the left boot. He just stopped properly in the air, was looking for right, couldn't. Jones gave it off to Webb for the Storm. He kicks it on the boot, puts it out towards the wing, but marked by Smith. Smith turned inside. He had Walsh standing underneath. That's a good, strong mark. And they've cleaned up each other here in the middle of the ground as Walsh goes long, top of the square, got plenty on it. Maxted going back, front on contact, should have been no. Umpire said it was behind and through for another minor score. 5-10-40 now, the Dragons. 4-2-26. We played 30 minutes, second quarter of the Premier Final here at the home of Bendigo Footy, the QEO, as the Storm quickly come into Harvey.
Webb had kicked it in, then he got the old 1-2 back in short pass and finds Gill. In the A-grade netball, Castlemaine Trail 18-24 against Gisborne as the balls move through the middle. Tackle from behind, Stagg did well on Moorhead. Is rewarded. Handball forward. Lee Collins, short pass. He's got Andy Collins. Might test his older hamstrings there, Mitro, being this far out.
With that breeze, I'd back him.
Oh, yeah,
back him.
For sure.
He just give it a bit of a stretch too.
No, that's the quad, mate.
Yeah, well, it's either, which is going to go first. I actually just sense that Sandhurst are probably not capitalised on this breeze. The good news is they'll have it last term, though. At the third, siren sounds as he kicks it. He's gone the tube, and it's the most horrible, ugly kick. And if he had his time over again, I think he would have just... it's unusual for a player like that to panic a little bit, and there's a bit going off on the ball still. A bit of, a nice little bit of...
half-time little banter.
Going on.
Yeah, just a little bit of
jumper
rough-ups
punches.
and a couple of little scrag downs and bits and pieces going on. As well, it's a Premier Final. There's no tomorrow after this one. You're either going to be playing next week, or you're not going to be playing at all for another 6 months. So fair bit on the line, Johnny.
Now there is, and Sandhurst 5-10-40 lead the preliminary final at half-time. The Storm 4-2-26 in the A-grade netball. Gisborne lead Castlemaine 24-18. And it was half-time not long ago over at the MCDFNL, thanks to Norm Jenkin. Harcourt have got it under control at the moment. 7-3-45 to 4-7-31 against Carisbrook. And how did you see how both clubs are situated at half-time? Wayne Mitrovic.
All right, now there's a bit of contrasting style of play going on out there. And when Storm get it, they're really looking at switching the ball laterally, getting it across the other side of the ground and running it. So I actually think their ball movement to get it from one end to the other is looking a little better at the moment, where Sandhurst are looking for that short kick, not necessarily a switch, more of the 45 kick, and it's going to a contest a lot of times, or they're letting the ball hang up and not getting it there quick enough, and they're allowing a Storm player to come in and affect it, and it's not paying off. So it's a fine balancing act, isn't it? We don't want to say, just because we've got the breeze, will blaze away.
No.
So they're trying to use the ball, but I was always taught, if you're going to go to a 50-50, you go to the longest 50-50. So if you're going to go short, it's got to hit the target, and they're not being able to do that.
Those ones that you're talking about are the ones where, you know, they're trying to pinpoint a player in amongst 2 or 3, and then they're chipping it up, and then giving their opponents time to get and impact those players. As you said, always, if you're going to chip to those 50-50 ones, go long. But if you're going to hit the target, the guy on a short should be able to play on and get the ball to the next contest down the line and then open it up as it moves on. And the Dragons haven't really done that. Whereas the Storm, you're right, they've moved the ball a couple of times from end to end, you know, kind of like from full back to full forward. They went you know, from there and kicked a goal. You know, Gill ended up on the end of it. So their ball movement is good, but it is hard to kick goals at that end of the ground. We've seen it both times, even, you know, set shots from 35-40 metres out with that breeze pushing across the face. It's very hard to score at the Barnard Street end. So they need to come out now, and then they, in this next quarter, the Storm, and be able to really just be able to use the ball, but use the breeze. Don't be frightened to use the long one and pinpoint a one-on-one and try and get and then get the numbers and push down there. Inside forward 50 though, the Dragons, I reckon today they've been a little bit better linked up with Thornton, Maxted, Wright, Collins, you know, the 4 talls in there, and then there's smalls, you know, like Coughlin's been good today. You know, he's been roving front and square of the pack sometimes, and then even Staggy when he's been down there front and square. And I've liked the move, you know, whereas they put probably Smith back on the halfback flank, put Noah Walsh into the middle. I just love the way the kid goes around about footy. He just gets the ball. He's always on the end of it. He's such a good ball getter, and he's not probably the best user sometimes, but he gets it and he gives you an opportunity.
You mentioned that forward 50 entry kick. Now we've seen against Square, it was high to massive numbers. I have seen, and it's going to a contest still, but it seems like there's more purpose.
Yeah.
It's more directed to a player,
Yep.
and giving them some more opportunity. And when that ball comes to ground then, rather than that kick getting picked off by the opposition and they get to feed it sideways and run, it's coming down to the front of the contest, and you just mentioned you're allowing them blokes to get to there. So they're getting to that right spot, but the kick that's coming in is allowing that to be brought into play.
Certainly.
I want to see Storm come out now. This is the quarter. If they're a chance to win this game, we see the scoring shot differential. Sanders kicking poorly, keeping them in it. As soon as they get forward to centre, don't worry about this little dinky 15-metre kick. When you turn and go, have someone come up, present the ball. If it's a one-on-one,
Yep.
kick it out in front of your opponent, your teammate, put the opponent under pressure and go to it. But we use that short one. It's allowing players to get into the back 50, and then you're 60 out, and then next kick's to a big pack. How about we turn and go?
With purpose.
Whoever's presenting, I think Noah Walsh took mark on 60 metres out. He turned, he's a right footer, turned onto his right. Andy Collins presented, would have been a nice 30-metre lead up. Just take it.
Yep.
He didn't, went to a contest.
The only thing I could see, they put Webb behind the ball again from forward to back, and he was good in their forward line. They were trying to stop the Dragons scoring that quarter. They didn't have anyone inside forward 50 to really target up, only Sharp, and that's the only problem. Gill got on the end of one, but the Sharp created that one goal that they did get. So, yeah, they need to have some more purpose going inside forward 50, the Storm, in this third quarter.
In the A-grade netball, it is 26-20. Gisborne are leading Castlemaine. We'll be back with plenty more. We've got games going on all across Central Victoria, grand finals in the MCDFNL, Heathcote North Central and the Central Murray. Is that the grand final up there as well, or the preliminary final?
Final Central
That's
Murray, yeah.
The preliminary final. But there's plenty more football to be had here at the QEO. At the moment, Sandhurst, they've got the lead. They lead 5-10-40 to the Storm in this preliminary final. 4-26. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home.
Half time in the MCDFNL where Harcourt leads 7-3-45 to 4-7-32 playing against Carisbrook, and half time in North Central thanks to Wayne Smith. Sea Lake Nandali 7-9-51 to Nullawal 4-5-29. And better players, who did you have in this one, Mitro, for your Sandhurst Dragons?
Yeah, I threw a few more in this time. I thought Curnow behind the ball took a lot of intercept marks and set up the forward thrust from there. Reads it very well, as we all know. We know he missed a couple of opportunities, but Lee Colgan got a lot of the ball that time from just putting himself in the right spot all the time, using those smarts. And I didn't mind, I thought, actually, Andy Collins started to get his hands on the ball on that half forward line. I'd like to see him if he can get his hands on it inside the forward 50 to make some damage on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Harvey, Lawrence, Geary down back, Clossy was pretty good in that quarter, and also the Hallahan was Hallahan? Hallen? Is it Hallen?
Yeah.
Hallen was very good.
Hallinan.
He was very good on the outer side wing as umpire holds the ball. Quarter, the premiership quarter, they call it. Can the Dragons and the Storm fight it out to the end? Who will be the winner? We'll find out. Ball in the air, knocked down by Hoskin. Coming in off the outer side was Wharton. Couldn't quite get it in amongst it. There's a little push out there by Harvey. And eventually the umpire said, give it a man, I'll ball it up again. Big over the top, Brereton got it. Now, went down the throat again of Slater. And Slater said, and got tackled and brought to ground. The umpire said, I'll throw it up again. Hoskin wins it down this time. came off the outer wing and held up. And, well, third time lucky. There'll be another ball up on the outer side.
Matty Thornton got involved too in that second term. He kicked 2 goals in singles to James Coughlin, Hamish Hosking and Conforti, and probably Hosking an unlikely goal kicker as well. We mentioned that probably hasn't had a lot of shots at goal. So it's another stoppage in the middle. Hosking, that man, wins the tap again, and it will be another stoppage as I run through the goal kickers for the Storm to half-time for you. All singles to Lockie Sharp, Jake Moorhead, Lachlan Gill and Luke Webb.
5 ball ups in a row on the outer side. This time, is it going to get out running around Lawrence? The ball was smothered, came back to right. He was tackled by Clossy. He rode him on piggyback there and held him up and eventually put him to ground. And the umpire said, give it to me and I'll ball it up again. Still on the outer side. Hoskin nearly out of the ruck. Brereton picked it up, couldn't get the handball out. Ball still in amongst the big pack of players. Stacks on the mill. The umpire says, no, give it to me and I'll ball it up again. John, see if you can get it out of there.
So the umpire will ball it up. Let's see how Hoskin goes on this occasion. He tapped at the opposition in McCarty. McCarty dished it off to Blanford. Blanford spotted up at teammate. I'm not sure if he's the target through Slater, but it was effective. He goes looking for Harvey in the pocket, but made Harvey work. He wasn't going to make it, and it might be just inside play for a ball in. That is underneath the scoreboard. City end. Storm in attack. They trail. 14-point margin. It's 40 playing 26. The Storm have got a pretty stiff breeze up their back as Hosking wins the tap again. Storm need to make capitalisation of it, and they can't. Conforti picks it up for the Dragons and he sends it to the outer side, but another turnover and Blanford marks it there for the Storm.
Blanford now, centre wing on the outer side. Just looks inside. He's got Clossy short. Ignores that. Decides he's going to go long and put it inside forward 50. He does. Big pack form. Gets over the back. Bouncing ball. Mills is there. Ernst is not really moving that well, is he? He's sort of got a bit of a limp, but ball over the line out of bounds for another throw-in. Deep into attack for the Storm. They need to get a score on the board. They've had it down here for a little bit. Off the pack, roving the ball. Plenty of numbers there. Mills dives in. Picking it up was James Coughlin. He got it out, gave it off to Ruff. He banged it on the boot, put it to the outside, but Lawrence comes in and takes a mark for the Storm. 50 metres out, the man on the mark. He'll have to kick this 55. He's going to go back and have a shot on goal.
You might do it at goal post height, what we've seen in the past there, Woodrow.
Maybe.
Lawrence.
Wind behind him.
Comes in. He kicks from 55. He gets himself a little bit more room. He goes long, and puts it through. The Storm gets it there first after half-time. They go now through to... I'm sorry, I missed the score. We're waiting for it to come up. They go through now. They get 5-2-32. The Dragons 5-10-40. We played nearly 4 minutes.
Trick's going to be getting the ball out of the back line in this breeze. We've seen it last quarter. They're set up 50 metres behind the kick. You're just going to have to be very creative with the way you get the ball out. If you slap it on the boot, it's coming straight back in.
Yeah, but you called it half-time. This is what the Storm needed to do. And in the Heathcote District Football League, 5 minutes into the last, Mount Pleasant have got the last 3. It's now Mount Pleasant 71 to Heathcote 54. The Storm go inside forward 50 again. They'll attack. Stevens will collect it against the boundary line and just step it over. So 65 from home for the Storm. We'll have another ball in. 8-point margin, Sandhurst lead. Opening minutes of this third term in the preliminary final. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Ball about to be thrown in, 50 metres out from the Storm goal. Neither ruckman got anywhere near it. Ball went over the back, picked up and going around the corner was Stevens trying to find Harvey, but it went a little bit too far over the line out of bounds for another throw in. Well, 20 metres around from the Storm goal, deep into attack again. As the umpire comes in, about to throw it back in. Ruckman set themselves. Hosking up against Brereton. Ball thrown back in. It's going to be short again. Hosking this time can't quite go. Sharp there. Grab it. He didn't have it. It's pushed into the back. And it's going to be a free kick. Lockie Sharp will go back and try and get this back to a 2-point ball game here in this third quarter.
A-grade preliminary final. It is Gisborne, they lead Castlemaine 37 to 28.
Well, Lockie Sharp. This should be bread and butter. Comes in, jabs it on the boot, puts it straight through the middle, and they get their 6. They go to 6-2-38. They trail the Dragons 5-10-40. We played 5 minutes in this third quarter. Footy fresh.
We've got kids are running on the ground everywhere.
That's his 100th. Is this? Must be his 100th goal, is it?
No, it wouldn't be. It must be a milestone there somewhere along his maybe his career goals.
I thought he had 96 up to this game or somewhere around there. What's he just kicked now? He's only kicked 2 this game, hasn't he? He wasn't on 98.
Well, don't know why they've
the kids were happy though. They're excited.
They might be mistaken, but reminds me of the days of Stephen Oliver many, many years ago down at the camp reserve.
Well, back to a 2-point ball game, and well, they've got the first 2 in this third quarter, and they're certainly putting the pressure on them, on the Dragons, Metro.
They have it. I don't think the Dragons have got a forward 50 entry yet this quarter, so the leaders need to step up now. It's a really important part of the game. Control the ball, get it in your hands, even if you need to go sideways. Just keep possession of the ball for a couple of minutes to stop that little momentum that Strath had at the moment.
And it's got twofold effect, doesn't it? Storm probably need to get a few on the board so they're far enough in front, and Sandhurst need to curb it because they'll have the breathe in the last quarter. So it'll be setting up a ripping last quarter. That's what you'd think. Back into the middle we go. 2-point margin. The Dragons lead, 40-38. Walsh picks it up for the Dragons. In fact, it might have been Stagg. It was Stagg. They looked alike on that occasion. Clossy picks it up for the Storm. Puts it to half forward. Good tackling, Curnow and Stevens. Curnow's been super. And that was always going to be holding the nut.
He's such... his tackling is so good. He's so strong. He never gives up on the tackle, does he, at all?
He's
Curnow.
a terrier, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. He will go long now. He'll down the line. He'll put it toward Markstead, the tart. He comes out and takes a good clunk.
Thornton, that was. Yeah.
Thornton, the big man. Well, that's a very strong mark by Matty Thornton. It's a marking day. He gets plenty and runs around the arc. He goes inside forward 50 now. Big pack forms. No one can take the mark. Ball at ground level. Came out the back. And it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to go to the Storm.
Just fell in their back during the tackle.
Yep. And it was advantage paid. No real advantage as it came out in front of there was... It might have been Mays, and it went over the line out of bounds. There's going to be a throw-in just on half forward. Dragons into attack.
So the Boyners double tapper. It was beautiful by Hosking down the side of Stagg, who puts it inside forward 50, overrunning the footy. Maxted couldn't collect. It'll be a stoppage. 40 from home, pretty tight angle.
That Curnow tackle here, the Storm player slipped and fell over. How many players? No one wears stops anymore.
No.
How many people slip over these days?
Yeah.
Got runners on.
As we've got another stoppage, have we? Or a free kick. It's going to go to Sandhurst, is it? No.
Some confusion.
No, there is confusion all around. It's not going to be Sandhurst. It'll be Lester goes to the back door to Geary, and he kicks it into the defensive zone to Blanford.
Blanford now gets called to play on. He'll come out to the grandstand side again, chip it into the pocket, and find his teammate there in Lawrence, Jones, sorry. He goes down the wing, coming from behind. Cooper Smith for the Dragons takes a good strong mark in a contest, gets called to play on, goes towards Collins, has to jump up, take the mark, he does, right on the arc of 50, gets called to play on around, on his right boot, puts it out to Thornton, can't take it, dropped probably what he should have taken, had to stop, gave the handball back, good work, Daywicks comes around the corner, good strong mark, Stagg in the contest, stood up, took the mark, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal from about 35 metres out. Not too much angle to worry about. Needs to kick this hard, Metro. Make sure it kicks it at the left goal post as hard as he can.
He did now up at the Central Murray at Kerrang last year. He kicked a few goals for the year, so he knows where the middle is. We'll find out shortly.
We certainly will. As he comes in, 30 metres out, nearly directly in front. He'll come in, kicks it hard, kicks it long. He's drifted it to the right and through for a minor score. 5-11-41. Now the Dragons 6-2-38 10.5 gone in this third quarter.
Comes down to moments, doesn't it? That would have changed just the whole complex of it. As it comes to the broadcast side, Storm with the footy through Gill. Gill looks for Shishka, poor bounce to Nelly. Nelly of the Dragons. He's heard some voice to Jake McLean. Can he collect? He does. Hurriedly kicks it on the boot. He goes to half forward. Sets it task there for Andy Collins. Andy Collins drags it and then bangs it on the boot and slews sidewards in the direction of Maxted. Blandford did well for the Storm. Sockers along the ground, then collects. Handball over the top looking for Lawrence, but Blandford got collected as he got rid of the footy and he'll get a free kick.
Yeah, he will. Dave Wicks might have been a little bit too late. Blandford on the outer side now. He's going to switch it. He'll go back. He'll find Webb, who's started forward but now has gone into the back half. He looks up the ground. He's going to go onto the outer side again. Can he pick someone out? No, big contest. Hallahan behind, gave it off, gave it to a teammate, and he was a shocking kick coming up with Gordon, but it's going to end up all right. Oh, just fumbling when they need to get clean hands. They chip it inside, and he finds Moorhead, who will take the mark on centre wing grandstand side.
Moorhead just looks further afield. Then he decides to go across half back, in fact, to Hallinan. Hallinan now, he'll switch it further to the opposite wing, Blandford. Now he'll come back inboard, Ratcliffe received. Just racking up to some possessions here, the Storm. Ratcliffe now, 50. 50 metres, don't know what it was for, but Ratcliffe, it's going to be a costly error because this is going to put him in scoring distance.
I think it was movement on the mark. The feet weren't planted firmly.
Oh, that old chestnut.
When they want to pay it.
When they want to pay it? Yeah, well, they're not as consistent as it's a minor score, and that's a opportunity missed also for the Storm. So it's now Sandhurst 5-11-41, 6-2-38. We've gone 12.5 minutes. Third term, footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Kerno from fullback. He just holds up. He's directing traffic, telling where he wants his players to go. He decides to go long and wide to the outer side. Big pack will form. Up over the back was Wilkinson. He couldn't take the mark, throwing it over, ended up with Lawrence. He went to Blandford. He had Moorhead inside. Now on the run from behind, Geary, a little chip and finds Wilson right on the arc of 50. Now can he get out, turn and give it to someone? Oh, he's got a player all by himself out here, standing by himself, Mays. And Mays will go back and have a shot on goal. He's got Webb beside him. He decides to hand it off. Webb just steadies, pushes it across the face and through for a minor score. Well, he was unable to put the on target. 6-3-39 now. They trail by 2 points, 5-11-41, as Kerno comes in quickly and finds a teammate in front of the scoreboard.
So it's Darcy Mills. Mills now for the Dragons. Goes beyond 50. They'll set themselves. Good fly behind it was Breton. Couldn't get his hands on the footy. Collins emerges with it for the Dragons, but he stepped over the boundary line and across half forward for the Storm. Ball in. 1 point margin. Actually, this is pretty good for the Storm, for the Dragons now. They need to be 3 or 4 goals in front at three-quarter time, I would have thought, for the Storm, just based on the wind and the scoring at both ends. Hosking wins it out of the middle, then he gave it up, gave it to Moorhead. Moorhead inside forward 50, hard lead, Sharp, and this is their chance to extend the lead midway through this final term.
Yeah, definitely. Plenty on the kick with that breeze, just carried over the contest to the front, and Sharpie was waiting at the back.
Sharp, left foot, slams it home. The Storm, and they needed it. That is a good effort by Sharp for his third goal in this third term. The Storm now go to 7-3-45. They lead 5-11-41 to the Dragons. We're going midway through this third term footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Now, I normally wouldn't do it, but I think it might be a good idea at the moment if Sanders put one behind the ball. Just with the way that breeze is in the position of the game with that goal now. Put an extra number there. They're not getting it forward to centre anyway.
No.
So how about we stem the bleeding and take control of the ball for a little while and get ready for that last quarter.
Well, Stagg out of the centre of the ground, gets it, gets the long handball. It's going to be turned over though. Moorhead decides he'll just bang it on the boot, puts it in the air, coming out aisle and takes a good strong mark for the Dragons though. Just read it that little bit better. He goes back. He's got Smith out wide. He'll come to the grandstand side. Big pack forms. Wright was there, getting over the top. Well, Houlihan, I should say, just takes it out of the middle of the pack. In front of Lockie Wright. Plays on, gets it inside forward 50. Well, it's kick to kick.
Yes.
Ireland takes an easy mark again. He chips it over the top and finds Day Weeks just outside his defensive 50. He'll hold the ball up, waiting for something to, present. He'll go a little short, that little short dinky kick again. Coughlin, sling tackle over the line as the ball will be thrown back in directly in front of us here.
I want to see how brave they wanted to be there. There was a switch was on, and they're just a bit shy and playing into their hands. Maybe they need to, take it on.
Three-quarter time in the BFNL Grand Final. Harcourt lead, 9-6-60 to Carrisbrook, 6-8-44 as the ball goes inside forward 50 to the Storm, but it'll be Curnow who mops up for the Dragons. Over the top by foot to Nelly. Nelly fumbled a footy he should have marked, and he went over the boundary line, and it'll be a ball in. Well, I don't know whether that was nerves, but Tanner Nelly, he's been quiet compared to early in the season, Metro.
Yeah, he just plays that behind the ball role where he can zone off and take the marks, and he hasn't had a heap of impact today.
Good player though, he's a very good player.
Very casual, man. He just looks like he's going about his business. Nothing flusters him.
Brereton gives it off to Slater. They come back inside forward 50 again. Big pack, punch away. Good punch from behind. Ruff was standing there as Slater ran into him and he couldn't get through, and it will be a ball up.
Three-quarter time in North Central. Grand Final, Sea Lake Nandali, 8-12-60 to Nullawil, 7-6-48.
Hoskin going to get a free kick, is he, or it's going to be against him? I didn't quite see that. Metro, did you see anything?
No, the crowd's response was, might have felt he's been harshly adjudicated in that instance, but it's the way the umpire's seen it. So the reality of the matter is that Strathfieldsaye are lining up for a shot from 40 out.
Brereton will take the shot on goal to just extend the lead. They lead by 5 points to get it out to an 11-point ball game. As he'll kick from about 40 metres on a slight angle, probably 45-degree angle. He comes in. He gets to 45. He kicks it like a big ruckman, but puts it straight through the middle, and they get there 8. They go to 8-4-52. They lead the Dragons by now 11 points here in the third quarter, and that is his first of the day, the big man. And well, we've played 18 and a half minutes in this third quarter.
Now I can see Lockie Wright in the defensive 50. I'll be interested to see whether he has gone as the loose player or what's going on there. I'll just do a quick count up of numbers. No, yes. So Lockie Wright's gone to the back line, manning up Bryce Curnow's opponent and allowing Bryce to be free.
You should be a coach, Mitro. You ever thought about doing it? Back in the middle we go. Restart, Storm. They'll come again. Handball receive. Moorhead will go long inside forward 50. Good mark. Tanner Nelly for the Dragons. Turnover ball, short pass. Collins playing up the field now as well. Collins, he's looking towards the boundary line. He's got Wright if he wants him, or Nelly. Goes to Wright, spots him. Geez, yeah, I was right behind that, and you could see the wind push it towards the city end. So Sandhurst, albeit they trail by 11 points, they're going to have the wind in the last quarter. Wright dumps it long, onto the wing, set themselves, Big Bear Thornton takes a clunker.
Does on centre wing. He's taken a couple of really nice marks. Now he plays on, arcs around, kicks it long, inside forward 50. Coming out, trying to take it was Maxted. Front and square was Coughlin. That was Lee. He handballed it out there to McLean. He gave it back to James Coughlin. Around the corner, they put it inside forward 50. Strong tab mark by Jones. He got it out to Geary. He chipped it there and found Moorhead. He didn't take the tackle. Paul Pratt came in, tackled him, held him up. Umpire said, give it to me and I'll ball it up. About 50 metres out from the Dragons' goal. Probably only, well, the second time they've been inside forward 50 in this quarter.
In the forward zone, picked up there by Lee Collins. By hand gives it to Collins, who's done a lot of running to get up in the forward zone. Comes off the outside of the boot. Juggling mark, could have been. And they're going to kick a goal here. And it slams into the post by Conforti, who ran onto the footy and put it through for a minor score. But that would have been a handy one to tighten it up to 10 points, 10-point margin. Sandhurst trail, 21 minutes gone. Third term Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah, nearly one from nothing there for the Dragons. They would have loved that, but just pressure applied by Strathfieldsaye enough to affect the kick.
Yeah, on his left boot too. Lawrence plays on from fullback, comes out wide, finds his teammate. They chip it over the top. Oh, but it didn't hit the target. Hoskins taking an easy mark. Now on his left boot, they go inside forward 50. Standing underneath it, there was Thornton. He couldn't take it. Conforti picks it up, breaks the tackle, then has to little chip across. Oh, he's kicked it straight to Lawrence. Now they come out over the top at the ground. Brereton has a finger at his feet. He gets it. He comes out wide. Gill was the target. He takes the mark. Now back inside. Moorhead for the Storm. He goes inside and finds a teammate in the centre of the ground. It was Fossey, and they'll play on and go out wide, and it will be an easy mark to Jones. Jones plays on, goes inside forward 50, bouncing ball in front of Sharp, under plenty of pressure from Clough. Rough, I should say, ends up with the Dragons. A kick around the corner, and Coughlin, that was Lee, who takes the mark.
Gisborne have one in the preliminary final against Castlemaine. I'll give you the score shortly as Thornton's got it over the top by hand to Mills. Mills of the Dragons, short pass, and he finds Connick. Connick now cross half forward. Hard up against the boundary line. Swimming pool side. Into the pocket he goes. Bit of a shove there by Webb. Umpire let it go. Now it spills to the back of the pack. It was Brereton. Swooped on the footy. Goes to Shishka. Look away handball was okay. He went to Harvey. Back there to Wilson. Back to Harvey and back to Wilson. Series of handballs there, and I reckon I got them all right. Goes down the line. Mark by Pay, didn't have enough of it. Spills to Webb. Webb now on the wing. Looks inboard. They're away here. Long kick by Harvey. Is looking for Shishka. Shishka will have to run it to the footy. Didn't sit. And 51 out from goal. That is attacking. Will have a ball in. So Gisborne advance in the grand final. 49 playing 36 against Castlemaine, and they'll play Sandhurst next week.
On the 50, City end, 10-point ball game. The Storm lead in this third quarter. We played 23 minutes. Flat throw in, didn't affect either ruckman. Coming in from the side, Stagg. It's the tackle on the Storm player. Getting up last off the pack was Harvey. Ball thrown up again. Over the top was Storm, picked up by Coughlin. That was James. He gave it off and gave it to Walsh. Back and with Cloud. Smothered, got a high tackle. He'll get a free kick on half back. Noah Walsh. Yeah, chinned him all right. He'll be feeling that one tonight.
Noah Walsh to the wing. Good body. Noah liked it by Maxted. Watched the footy. Call me a little bit old school, Mitro, but I reckon that was all right.
That was great. Great use of the body there.
Good hit up. Short pass. Matty Wilkinson received. On half forward. Awkward looking kick. That was poor. Clossy, finger tipper. Turnover now the Storm. They'll bang it back the other way through Hunter Lawrence. Kicks it to the wing. Walsh collects. Good strong tackling. Webb. In fact, it might be Wilson. Mays. A few of them got the long sleeves on this afternoon. We'll have a ball up centre wing.
Ball thrown in the air. Hoskin wins the tack, tries to get the handball off. Wilkinson was there. Webb for the Storm. High tackle on Coughlin. That was James. He'll get a free kick from McCarty. And in through the middle of the ground. He has a player there in Smith. Bouncing ball. Shiska was there. Got the handball off. Fumble, but not able to hit the target. Good work over the top. McCarty will be there. And a little tap away to Cooper Smith. Gave it off to Paul Pratt. Paul Pratt banged it on the boot, but Jones is going to be first out there for the Storm. Bouncing ball, stops, props, gets the pressure from behind, but it gets the kick in. Can't hit the target. Ball bouncing towards the line, and taking it over was Gill, and for the Storm, centre wing on the outer side.
Mount Pleasant look like they will be premiers with 22 minutes gone. It's a 19-point margin out there. Where are they playing? Huntley?
Yep.
Against Heathcote. So when that final score comes through, unless something extraordinary happens, as the ball is on the wing, Lee Coughlin is released, and then he's tackled for the Storm. Now it's in contest. outer side. Who can win this arm wrestle on the outer side? As the umpire let it go for a fair while, and we'll have another stoppage.
I think Mounts have come from fourth, I think, on the ladder. I don't think they finished in the top three. I think it was White Hills, or Heathcote, White Hills and North.
Upset balling at MCDFNL. I'll get back to you in a minute there. As you
Wilson comes through the middle of the ground, goes deep, looking for Sharp. One-on-one contest, steps out of the pack, has to get the handball away, does. They come all the way back, dropping probably what he should have taken was Harvey, then tried to get the handball. Good defence though, working it hard though is the Storm. Comes out to Webb, he fumbles it, comes to Sharp, gave it off to Wilson. Wilson went towards goal and he's kicked another one. The Storm get another one. They go to 9-4-58. They lead the Dragons 41 here at the the 20-minute mark of this third quarter. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Getting the vibe and the feel of the game. I just wasn't sure 10 points was going to be enough coming to the end of the quarter. But that extra goal there to put us at 16's definitely made it game
26
on.
26 minutes gone too.
In the MCDFNL, Carisbrook have kicked 3 straight in the first 10 minutes of the final term against Harcourt, and they lead by 2 points. You would think Harcourt have won something 30 or almost 40 games straight. No wonder Norm Jenkins gone quiet on the text here. And Mounts have won 12-7-79 to Heathcote 9-6-60. So 19-point margin, premiers in season 2023. It is now McCarty. Sharing it around at the end of a series of handballs is Moorhead. Storm will go forward. Sharp looking dangerous. Good strong work right. Punched in the direction of Daywicks. Will they cough it up? Intensity's up. Whistle on play. Free kick. Umpire Baxter's pulled one out to Wilson of the Storm. The man on the mark stands at 50. He'll handball forward to Stevens. A bit of loose checking there by the Dragons, and the Storm did not make them pay. 59 playing 42. Storm lead, 28 minutes gone, final turn.
Really important couple minutes here for Sandhurst to try and penetrate this defence. Haven't been able to do it too often, so Strathfieldsaye might get another opportunity here before the siren goes.
27, nearly 28 gone, as they look to bring the ball back in from full back. It's Lockie Wright. He steps out of the square, decides to go long and wide to the outer side. Big pack forms. Thornton up from 3 back, couldn't take the mark. Webb in front, was it? Couldn't take it. Got a free kick. Has he? No, yes, he has given it and paid Webb either the mark or a free kick. He decides to go back inside forward 50. Curnow up. Coming from 3 back. Shiska has taken a mark and he'll go back and have a shot on goal from about 25 out on a very, very tight angle.
Now Sharp is getting into the defenders there for the Dragons, letting him know that they shouldn't have let him mark that. I thought he might have learned his lesson last week, but he's at it again.
And you know what, this feels to me like a 3 to 4 goal breeze, so we're getting into danger territory now. Is it getting unmanageable?
Shiska.
This is an important kick.
Comes in, kicks it, but he's let him off the hook. Missed it and put it through for a minor score. 9-6-60 now. The Storm, they lead the Dragons 5-12-42 here at the 29-minute mark of this third quarter. And Curnow will bring it back in for the Dragons.
Now Mitchell up, who's doing the camera work up there, he's filling in for us. He's heard that it's Sharp's 1,000 goal, but he needs to check it just to make sure, but it very well could be because he's up there. It's going to go inside forward 50 now for the Storm. Diving in there is rough for the Dragons.
So is that he's about to kick his 1,000th, or that was the celebration?
That was, yes. But we haven't confirmed that, but as the siren sounds here for three-quarter night time. So it's Sandhurst 5-12-42 to the Storm 9-6-60. That's an 18-point margin. Some final scores coming through. I'll give you the Heathcote and Mount Pleasant game. Mount Pleasant are premiers 12-7-79 to Heathcote 9-6-60. And in the A-grade netball, Castlemaine have been defeated by Gisborne 49-36. So Gisborne advance next week to play Sandhurst. But this sets up a ripping final term here. It's an 18-point margin at 60 playing 42. But Sandhurst have got a pretty strong breeze in the last quarter. Can they capitalise, or will the Storm hold strong? Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you
the Storm, I should say. I thought Harvey was pretty good. Wilson came into that quarter. Lawrence was good again. Stevens. Moorhead's been good all day. He's been the engine room in the middle. Blandford down back, I thought was really good. And Hallinan.
Struggle with that one, don't you?
I do struggle with that one. Mitch was pretty good as well for most of that quarter and had plenty of it. But yeah, the Dragons need to lift their game. The Storm, well, I'd always say when you lead at three-quarter time, breeze sometimes doesn't come into it because you can play and defend that breeze in the final quarter of footy.
Well, there's no loose player for Strath in the back line. They're going full-on attack.
Well, let's see what happens in this final term. Just about to get things underway. Sandhurst trail 5-12-42 to the Storm 9-6-60. Preliminary final. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live. Here is Brian Mansbridge to start it all for us. Don't go anywhere. It promises to be a grandstand finish.
Bryce Curnow's also made the switch, so he's gone to full forward in this last quarter we've seen happen last week.
And Lockie. The one, the Dragons, they'll need to score quickly in the first quarter to give them some confidence. Ball back in the middle. Brereton and Hoskin take it out of the ruck, bangs it on the boot, puts it forward, and a good strong mark. The Dragons on the outer side. Wilkinson will take it outside 50, goes inside 50 this time. Big push, got to be a push, and Curnow is going to get a free kick, and the Dragons would be very happy that this might be the first one in the first 30 seconds of this final quarter. The penultimate game of the season of 2023. Bryce Curnow comes in, goes back, lines it up, and he's missed it. He's put it through for a minor score, 5-13-43.
Maybe a little bit of justice. There's a fair bit of mayonnaise on that.
It could have got a little bit of an Academy Award.
Gee, but talk about opportunities and moments as Shannon Geary plays on from fullback. Horrible copter ball. That's an indication of what the breeze is doing. It is Max Steady now, picks it up there for the Dragons. He sends it into the pocket. It goes out of bounds on the full. So it probably wasn't there. You should still make them pay.
Directly in front like that, they hurt you.
They certainly do. Ratcliffe now with the footy for the Storm. He goes beyond 50, hugs the boundary line. Little bit of a push by Island. Umpire let it go. Front and centre is Noah Walsh. He goes goalward and slams it home. That's what they needed in the opening couple of minutes to tighten it right up to an 11-point mark. 6-13-49 to 9-6-60 the Storm. Under 2 minutes. Last term, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
We've seen it all day. It's so hard to get the ball out of the back 50 with this breeze. The breeze, I don't know if it's dropping or not, but it's just so hard to get it out. And the opportunities are created, and they took that one.
They certainly did. Ball back in the middle. Brereton up against Hosking. Ball thrown in the air. Ruckman go up. Hosking's going to get it again. This time a quick kick inside forward 50, but coming over and taking Webb for the Storm. He decides to go quickly, go to the outer side, finds Slater, who takes it on the centre wing on the outer side. He just holds up and waits for the troops to go forward. He still holds up, now plays on, chips it out wide. Had a teammate out there in Shiska, who takes the mark. On the outer side, still on half forward for him. He chips it long down the line, trying to wait until someone came out and presented, and they did. And it will be Mays. It is. Takes the mark, goes inside forward 50, coming out, taking the mark. Again was Gordon, played on, must have been touched around the corner. Bouncing ball in front of the gill over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in deep into attack for the Storm.
Yeah, the way he took off then, you'd think it would definitely touch ball.
Yep.
So the umpire will throw it in. Storm attack to the Barnard Street end. The last thing the Dragons need is a goal against the pretty strong breeze. It's been difficult to kick goals up that end all afternoon. Hosking, front tap to Conforti. It's been relatively quiet. He's had his moments, but not the same influence. It goes to the wing. Juggling mark by Webb of the Storm. He goes short pass forward. Spots up a teammate through Jones. Jones now, short pass to the pocket. Low percentage kick. Front and centre, James Coughlin. He's been quiet in the last quarter or so. Hands and knees, Ireland dishes it out. Comes off the boot. Stagg coughs. Walsh gets tackled well. Hurried shot at goal, picked up by Sharp. He'll go goalward to the goal line. Hard up against the line. In the pocket, the ball is slewed and will have a stoppage. Ball up, only metres out from the Storm goal. 11-point margin, Sandhurst trail, 4 minutes final turn.
Ball thrown in the air. Hosking takes it off out of the ruck. Clossy was there, got a handball away, but didn't go very far. Brown's there, couldn't take a handle on the ball, got close to the line, out and over for a throw-in. A metre around from the Storm goal, deep into attack. Pool pocket. Well, the Pool changed room pocket. Barnard Street end. Ball thrown back in. Ruckman set themselves again. Hoskin, Brereton. Hoskin wins the tap down. Went to Walsh. Stagg was there also. Couldn't get it out. Ball still in amongst the pack. Stacks on the mill. Geary for the Storm. There. Holds it up. Umpire says give it to me and I'll ball it up. Still deep into attack for the Storm.
A lot of players around. Eating up valuable time. Shannon Geary on the hand of a handball. He's coughed it up and it's turned over. He gave it straight to Collins. Andy Collins hurriedly kicks it to Connick. Drops a marky that he should have taken. Contested ball, ground level. Gill was getting involved. And that just goes to show the nerves of this final term, the preliminary final. Just outside of 50, the straight end. 11-point margin they lead. 5 minutes gone, final turn.
Deep into attack. Brereton can't take it. Ball off the pack. This time, Walsh just had to handball it off. Gave it to his teammate in Coghlan.
Up all over the ground. There's not a meter between every player, and he just had no option then to kick to.
Ball up in the ruck. Hoskin this time gives it to Walsh. He gets a high free kick, will be. And Noah Walsh for the Dragons off half-back will take the free kick. He'll chip it inside, looking for Collins, who'll take the mark. He had Conforti on the outer. Now this is a long kick inside forward 50. Ball got over the back. Curno's going to run onto it. Taps it out wide. Tries to give it a snap off the puck. We're clean. And another one to the Dragons. And that is their 8th goal. They go to 8-13-65. And they trail the Storm 9-6-68. And it is tightening up 55, 7-15-55, 7-13-55. We played 6 minutes in this final quarter. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Both the Storm defenders decided to go up against Curnow, 2v1, and he kept his feet in the contest when the ball at the ground. Just a little tap into McLean's path and he was able to capitalise with the goal.
Harcourt are premiers in the BFNL against Carisbrook. Harcourt 11-7-73 to Carisbrook 9-8-62. Back into the middle. Now it's emerging with the footy is McCarty for the Storm. He'll go long into the pocket, hitting the contest hard. Ground level though, Sharp. Goes around the body. Goalwood. Mark! Storm will kick a goal here through Mays. Played on quickly at the goal line. Probably a little bit of an unlikely goal kicker. You wouldn't have picked it. And a quick reply by the Storm. So game on here. 10-6-66 to 7-3-15. We haven't crossed the halfway mark of this final term. In fact, we've only gone 7 minutes, so plenty of time. Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
I coach Maisie in a league out in the Loddon Valley, and he's a interesting man. He absolutely loved the guy, and he would be lost up in that end of the ground. He wouldn't have played too much up that end, I wouldn't have thought.
I wouldn't have thought so either.
Ball back in the middle. 11-point ball game. Brereton up against Hosking. Hosking wins the tap down, then knocks it on, goes it toward Conforti, then back. Slipping over was Walsh, couldn't quite get it on there. Collins was there. Conforti tries to break it out of there. Harvey's there. He tried to get the handball out. Day Wicks is there over the top of Jones for the Storm, and eventually the umpire says, give it a man, I'll ball it up. Ball quickly thrown in the air. Well, taken out of the ruck was Lester. Got the quick kick towards his teammate there in Clossy. He got a handball picked up there by Harvey. He toe poked it out wide looking for his teammate there in Jones, but Wicks is going to be first there. Picks it up, gets a handball back to Wilkinson. He went over the top towards Smith. Smith got tackled high and he's going to get a free kick from Moorhead from the Storm. And he waits and plays on quickly down the line. Looks for someone to go to and turns it over and kicks it to Stevens.
He'll come across half-back and spot up Gill of the Storm. Long shadows forming here at the QO. Short pass forward. 15-20 metres, Shishka receives. Then he spreads it, fans it wide. Lawrence receives. Then he goes forward. Moorhead So they've moved it nicely here. A good build-up. Storm. Too far out to go. Inside forward 50. Poor checking. What is going on with the Dragons? They're in a preliminary final, and that's just a poor bit of play. Harvey takes a chest mark, and this will be a tough kick.
He didn't actually provide a lead then. He just,
just stood
they were
there.
just zoning off. He just stood right in the middle, and the kick was perfect.
Now, Harvey is going to have to kick this 45, and no one's really done it to that end. Based on what we saw right to earlier, he's going to have to start it hard left and then let the breeze take it.
I'll be sitting on that point post on the right-hand side.
Let's see what happens. In he comes. He starts it straight. It goes straight, right to the goal line, offhand, minor score, touched. Good result, Dragons. 67 playing 55 rather. 12-point margin, 2 straight goals. Have we got a draw on the way at the 10-minute mark of the final two?
Who knows? From full-back, right, goes long, straight down the middle of the ground. Who can take the mark? No one can. Off the pack, Clossy gives it off, gives it to Webb. Webb goes inside forward 50 again. They're heading plenty of forward 50 entries as Nelly was there, and the ball went over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in deep into attack again for the Storm.
Yeah, I've seen Bryce pushed up to the centre of the ground and called for that kick, just that long one down the middle. You see teams do it in the dying minutes. I don't know if they're at that stage just yet.
Ball thrown back in. Hoskin wins the tap down. Who can get on the end of it? Well, Smith was there. He went up, got towards there. Collins, can 40. Collins gave it off to the run of Smith. Cooper Smith went long, dip inside. Found his teammate Maxted. He now just turned and chipped it over the top. He had Thornton who played on and got towards the arc of 50. The Dragons are building, coming inside forward 50 now. He got held up. He just looks for the lead. Collins led out, and that was a good kick. The big man was able to hit the lead of Andy Collins, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal from about 38 metres out on a very, very slight angle to the city end.
I've just seen all the players streaming in with the flight of the ball, and I was just thinking in my head, he just needs someone to come up at him.
Yep.
And who would it be? Andy.
Yeah, smart thinking, and then he was good enough to lower the eyes and hit the target. Andrew Collins, he comes in. He hasn't kicked a goal today. Gets it on the boot. Oh, goal umpire hasn't moved very much, and he puts it straight through the middle for their 8. They go to 8-13-61. They trail the Storm, who are now 67, and it is deep into this, about halfway through this third final quarter. 11 minutes gone, 10-7-67. The Storm, a 6-point ball game.
It was all work rate by Andy. He's actually involved in a marking contest on the half-back line and pushed forward with the ball and able to get on the end of it. So it was a great work rate as well.
I know they're trailing, but I just start to feel there's a few floodgates just coming our way. Good shark out of the middle by Walsh. Walsh of the Dragons. Good hitter. It was a training drill. Curnow on the end of it, and he needs to drill this.
The end of the last quarter and into this one, I think Walsh is actually setting the tone here for the Dragons. He's the one that's providing that run and carry, changing the game.
He's coming off the ground there too, Mitro, just for a little bit of rest, one would think. Not for too long. Curnow, forward. He hasn't missed it, has he?
Yes.
Oh, geez, he's had 2 chances now in the last. They'll rue this if they lose this game. 5-point margin. Dragons trail. 12.5 gone. Final time. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live, and Harcourt won 4 premierships today out of 4 tries. So good effort. 3 netball games and the senior footy.
Webb from fullback for the Storm. We see a 5-point ball game. 12.5 minutes gone. Final quarter. He plays on, steps outside the square, runs his full distance, chips it and finds a teammate on the outer side. Bossy. He holds it up just inside his defensive 50. He's asking someone to present forward. He does now. He chips it low and hard. Couldn't hit the target. Ball punched away over the line out of bounds for a throw-in about 52 metres away from the Dragons' goal. Still into attack. 8-14-62, 10-7-67. 13.5 gone. Final quarter, preliminary final. No tomorrow for the loser. The winner goes through to play Golden Square next week. Ball thrown back in. Hosking takes it out of the ruck, gives the handball off. Quick kick out of the pack, got back over the top, running and trying to get it. ball off there. Oh, Harvey running into a tackle from Conforti. He still held him off. Got the left boot kick up and under. Can someone take the mark? Running towards the boundary line, but it was over and out and on the full. And it will be a free kick, and it'll go to the Storm, and it'll be Webb who'll take it in the last line of defence.
So Webb could be a handy point though. It's a 5-point margin. Got one a little earlier by Curnow, but really
Should have been a goal.
he's had 2 chances in the last term.
Here's a back.
Long way to go. Beyond 50. Maxted. Mark. In fact, it might be Connick. It's one or the other. 2 of them lined up. In fact, it's neither. Yes,
Connick.
it is. It's Connick. Connick now. Too far out from home. He'll go long. He'll go to the top of the square. They'll set themselves. Ball spills wide. Clossy mops up for the Storm. Sends it beyond 50 to the wing. Good hit. Hits up Mays, who kicked the last goal. Handball over the top. They're away here through Shishka. Handball inboard. They're going through Jones. Jones now. He's got a player on. Is it a mark of the Storm? No. Ground level. Under a lot of pressure. It's diving on the footy there was Malik Gordon.
Gone.
Couldn't get it out. Gone.
Good. Mills there. No stat for that contest he provided. That was excellent.
Ball through the middle. Finds Paul Pratt. And the Dragons build. He arcs around and plays on. No one comes at him, so he decides to go deep. Oh, he's missed it. Webb just read it better. Curnow let up, and he just couldn't hit him. A little chip through the middle. Finds Clossy just inside his defensive 50. He's got a teammate on the outer side in Stevens, who takes the mark. He chips it forward and finds his teammate there in Slater, who takes the mark. He plays on. No, it's Lawrence. Lawrence goes long, goes outside defensive 50. Well, Ireland just came in and took an easy mark. It's not, and it's going to go back, and it's going to be Hoskin that got the Shepherd out, and he'll chip it out wide, and he'll find Connick on the outer side.
Now Connick. They need to get one on the board. Halfway through this final term. 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes gone. They trail by 5 points. 50 metres out from goal. Hurried kick in. Let's see what happens in the pocket to mark Andy Collins. The ball might have come in from Conforti, I think, on the right foot, in fact. And Collins, pretty tough angle. Now, do you do the traditional 1 metro, or do you go around the corner? You go around the corner, and has he kicked a goal? He has! He had his arms in the air before it even left his foot, I reckon.
He knows where they are.
Boy, oh boy, he didn't muck around. They take the lead by a solitary point. 68 playing 67, and we've still got a lot of time in this final term, but cometh the man, cometh the moment.
To use an old term, helter-skelter, it starts to get a bit frantic at this stage of the game. Teams take more risks, open the game up. So that on turnover, there is massive opportunity and players free. So whoever can capitalise on that turnover ball, I think will nearly win this game of footy.
If you can hit your targets going forward in this, when it does open up, when they don't hit the target, the first target, that's where you need to go. Big punch by Hosking out of the middle of the ground. Went out wide, grabbing it and getting tackled to the ground, the Storm. And last man up will be the big man in
Andy's
Brereton.
just come off the square then and put a tackle onto you. He's up for this last quarter.
Ball off the pack. Coughlin just tapped it over. Coming through was Steve Lawrence for the Storm, and he was quickly tackled by Walsh and Coughlin. That was James, and the umpire said, give it a man, I'll ball it up. Attacking side of centre square for the Dragons.
Sea Lake Nandali are premiers in North Central. Nullarbor tried hard all day. They just weren't quite good enough, with Jenkins kicking 4. So you'd be happy with the season, though, with Nullarbor.
No, that's what I said before the game down there. Nullarbor coming out of another league and going in there and to themselves very well in a very good North Central league. Half
forward for the Dragons. No free kick there. You could hear the effects, Mike, the crowd screaming. Umpire Baxter will throw it up. Across half forward, Sandhurst lead by a point. 18 minutes ticked over. Final term. Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Hoskin knocks the ball down. Good work by Stevens, though. Was Lawrence. Picked up, though, by Smith. He went out wide trying to find McLean. Jones was hot on his tail. The ball went over the line out of bounds for a throw-in. Right on the arc of 50, deep into attack for the Dragons. They lead by a single solitary point. 9-14 to 10-7. 18 minutes gone. Final quarter of the penultimate game of the season. Big punch away by Leicester. Let's put it back towards the line. Over the line, out of bounds for another throw-in. as the ruckman will set themselves again about 70 metres around from the Dragons' goal.
Interesting time here for Sandhurst. They get another one on the board, and that makes it a two-kick game, heading towards the 20-minute mark. Throws it in. Hosking ragdolled Leicester again. It's been good. Hurried kick by the Storm to the wing, out of the pack. They're running, overrunning the football was Wilson. Couldn't quite get it. Good strong tackling out of side. The Storm ties them all up. And they'll have a ball up at the bottom of the pack. Stagg trying to make a path. You can feel the Storm are the Dragons runners. Whistle on play. Free kick, first one of the afternoon given away by Hosking. And it was given to Leicester. He puts it to the bank door to Hunter Lawrence.
He kicks it long, goes inside on the outer side, hits a target there, who takes the mark. Deep down there is Shishka. He plays on, went one way, just walks around his opponent, goes inside forward 50, not taking the mark. Now they're out, the Dragons. Collins over the top. They go 1-2. A little one out wide to Connick, takes the mark. He's got Curnow short. He'll go there. Need a little chip over. He does. Hits the target. The Dragons move it to half centre wing, just the defensive side of centre wing. Curnow holds it up. He's got one short. Finds Cooper Smith. He plays on quickly. Puts it inside forward 50. One-on-one contest. Big one, Maxted couldn't take it. Geary off the pack for the Storm. Went back towards Moorhead. Ran into a brick wall. Handballed it out. He gave it to Collins. Collins looks up. Goes deep inside. Can someone take a mark? Up in the pack was Wharton. Couldn't take it. Ball hit the ground. Picked up by Harvey for the Storm. He chips it out wide and finds Jones on the outer side.
Geez, big chance there. Jones, handball forward to Lawrence. Lawrence has a bounce for the Storm. Off half-back, outer side wing. It's an awkward ball. He's going to cough it up. Kicks it straight to James Coughlin. The Dragons will bring it the other way. In the back, Stagg, surely. Blanford, he gets one. He might have got a corky for his trouble. Corky for his trouble. He just propped a little bit Stagg. And I don't know if he's got the leg.
He won't have the leg here, so they need a plan.
What about with the wind?
Well, he's got two players standing there. They can just... Oh, he could have...
Too late now. The die has been cast.
I'd hate to see it bomb to the line and get punched over.
Curnow's drifting down there. Maxted's in there as well. Collins as well.
There's got to be someone like they've... the Dragons haven't set up very well here. They're all behind the ball.
You've got to draw the hit now. Put it to the most dangerous spot. Stagg, run sideways. It's long. It's high. It's going to go the line. I reckon it's a goal. Boy, oh boy. We wrote him off.
Said he couldn't make it.
Oh, it's on half forward. They don't like it, the Storm players. That was probably the career kick. It was a ball. He's kicked it from well beyond 50 to extend the lead. 10-14, 74 Dragons. Storm 10-7, 67, 21 and a half minutes. Final term, Footy Fresh's Bendigo Football Live.
They brought the man standing rule in to create some excitement and run in football, and it's provided us with a great moment today.
Certainly has. Stagg kicks the goal, puts it into a 7-point ball game. Off the pack, coming through was Conforti. And then Walsh taps it in front of himself. Can't quite get a handle on it. Paul Pratt was there. It's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go to the Storm. And it will be McCarty who'll take it. He's been fairly quiet. He gives it off to Gill. Gill gives it off wide to Webb. Webb now for the Storm. Steps back inside, takes a bounce. 2 bounces. Runs his full measure. Kicks it inside forward 50, but going up the Dragons half back line is standing tall. Day Wicks takes an easy mark across half back.
He'll spread it wide. Finds Curnow. Outer side wing. Dragons should win from here, you would think. Short pass Mills. There's still some breath in this game. Might be 50. Malik Gordon was like a bit of a soccer. Put his foot out, I reckon, to stop him. Now Mills. Or is he just buying some time? Probably the latter. His kick smothered. Spills to Ratcliffe. Handball. Turnover. Hot. Big ruckman for the Dragons. He'll go inside forward 50 to Collins. He picked up the ball and goes around the body, but didn't quite look, and he turned it over and gave it straight to Shannon Geary.
Geary went out wide. Moorhead one-on-one. Day Wicks has got the park. He's taken it on the boundary line. Check side. He's kicked the goal from the pocket and put the Dragons now a 10-point lead. From something from nothing on the boundary line. Goal of the day, Day Wicks. He gets his first of the afternoon. And the Dragons go to their 11th. They go 11-14-80. They lead the Storm 10-7-67, 23 and a half gone in this final quarter of the prelim final.
Well, nearly every player on the ground made the effort to get over and rub the young fella on the head there. They were very happy with that.
We've had two moments with two players, a little bit elder statesman in Stagg and then Day Wicks. Two completely different goals, but two with equally amount of pressure. Now the Storm. Is there a response? There's probably 5 or 6 minutes remaining, and it's a 13-point margin as we've got a stoppage between centre and half forward. The Dragons are in attack again.
Ball thrown in the air. This time, neither ruckman gets a hand on it. Ball is grabbed by the Storm, and then he was grabbed and put to the ground. And getting up was McCarty. There, as Walsh to his feet. Ball thrown in the air, neither get it again. Walsh picks it up, now gets the handball around, but it was knocked away from Conforti over the shoulder, and he'll get a free kick, and the Dragons will come inside forward 50 again. He just holds it up, waits till the troops go forward. Now he gets onto that long left boot. Maxted sets himself coming from behind. That was good work, Webb. Big long handball out, finds Sharp, and he'll go to swing.
Bouncing footy, will it sit for Brereton? It does. Morton did well to drill him from behind, but it was quick enough Brereton to get it to half forward. Now who can win the footy off half back now? Nally did well. Paul Pratt, little pass, need to be careful. Right, shrugs the tackle and puts it out of bounds on the full, which is a good result because there's still time, but they'd have to get on their bike inside 50. Mark, it is here. This needs to be a goal. Gordon, he goes short. Hands and knees, is that a mark?
Yep.
Diving forward, a Storm player. I'll pick it up who it is for you in a tick, as that was an unlikely mark. The man that marked it was Stevens.
Yeah.
He played on. The umpire should have said played on. He took 3 steps to the side and didn't. Now he does, and it's going to be a minor score. Is it a goal? No? Yes, it's a goal. So,
we said at the start of the day that Storm are finals representative. They know what needs to be required, and they'll keep believing right to the end, and it looks like they've got that belief.
7-point margin, so it's 2 kicks, 80 playing 73, 11-14-80 to 10-7-73. 26 minutes have just ticked over. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Well, deep into attack. Well, the kick coming out from Lockie Wright doesn't hit the target, goes out of bounce on the full, and all of a sudden it's inside forward 50. They kick a goal. This time Hoskin off the pack. Walsh gave it off. Now quick side one inside forward 50, but it's turnover grabbed by Lawrence for the Storm. He goes long inside forward 50, but going back, Connick took a good strong mark in front of the pack as Curnow looks like he's put himself back behind the ball now, thinking that he's got enough of the ball inside there forward 50. Out wide, no one can take the mark. Ball at ground level, Stacks on the mill. And eventually the umpire says, give it to me, on half forward for the Dragons. We've played just on 27 minutes here. It is 80 plays 73, 2 kicks in it at the moment, 7 points as the ball came off the pack and went to Webb.
Webb, so it was a turnover for the Storm. He'll send it to the outer side wing, bouncing footy. And just by some time here, Matthew Wilkinson stepped over the line for the Dragons. We'll have a ball. True centre wing. Swimming pool side. Dragons by 7 points. They're kicking to the city end, which has a pretty strong breeze. It's an unlikely scenario that the Storm will get up, but there's plenty of time. They just need to the scoreboard. Moorhead, backdoor handball, went to Webb, to half forward. Right flew for the Dragons. It will be a turnover. Connick spreads it wide. Conforti, a little bit of a donut. Probably got it under the chin, and he sent it wide to Lee Coughlin.
Coughlin went around the corner, tried to hit out Cooper Smith, but couldn't do it. Ball came back through. Day Wicks! Specky! Big jump, big mark. A little tip inside forward 50, goes to Stagg. Well, he's well within distance, boys.
Yeah.
He's another 10 metres closer. Wow.
I'm going to write this in.
Day Wicks, he set himself up. As you said, Metro, they sometimes just chew off a little bit too much, popped it in the air, and he read it like a book.
Nothing wrong with the option. The game's there to be won. You've got to be daring, but it was up too high in the air. It just had to be one of those low, hard kicks. So if you're going to do it, you've got to back yourself 100%.
Goal of the day and mark of the day, Day Weeks, in the last quarter. He gives it to Stagg. You bloke said he couldn't kick it from 52 or 3. He's now only got to kick it from 48. Comes in. Nearly the same position. Can he do it again? He does. He gets onto it. This time it's gone across the face and through for a minor score. You better get your eraser out there, Johnny, and take that one out. 11-15-81, the Dragons. 11-7-73. 28, nearly 29 minutes gone, final quarter of this preliminary final here. The winner goes on next week to take on the Dogs, and the loser, well, it's curtains for season 2023.
Hunter Lawrence for the Storm kicked it in the middle, but it's a turnover again. Day Wicks getting involved, handball over the top to Conforti, who gets tackled. Stop arguing, Storm, you've got to get on with it.
Interesting call.
Yeah,
I think he was, Conforti was gone there.
I thought he was too.
A cross half back, but he wasn't now. The umpire said no. Ball up. Clossy. He might have got one high for the Storm. And again, we'll have a stoppage.
There's a lot of finger pointing and yelling from both sides. They're trying to set everyone up at this stoppage.
Well, ball thrown in the air. Hoskin gives it a big thump. 450. Thornton, little hands out, tried to find Collins. He did get it, but then was tackled. He gave it back to Thornton, but it was held up. And it's going to be a free kick, is it? It will be. It's going to go to Clossy.
The old-fashioned square up for the other one they missed.
No, it's going to be. I think it might have been Slater who chipped it in, found a teammate there in Geary. He went through and found Jones. Jones went out long and wide, had the runner Lawrence in front of the big man Maxted. Grab a little kick inside forward 50, a little chip in. As they played on, and it won't be a score, and the Dragons will take on the Dogs next week in the grand final. They get through 11-15-81. They defeated the Storm 11-7-73. That final quarter went 30 minutes, and it will be the Dragons next week. Metro, they were just a little bit too strong in the final quarter for the Storm.
Yeah, look, they miss their opportunities throughout the day. And just because they're going to the scoring end and you think they're going to get there doesn't always mean they will. And don't worry, Strath put up a mighty effort there, and they didn't go away. They threw everything at it, so they can hold their heads high. And Sandhurst, yeah, what it took, finals, huge pressure, contested ball, they're not giving an inch. It took a couple really special efforts, 2 individual efforts there at the end, the goals from Stagg and Day Wicks to break the game. And that was about all that was in it all day.
Couple of kicks, couple of marks, just when they, the mark of Day Wicks in the middle of the ground, they tried to chew off. They were able to get away and run that ball then the full length of the ground. From coast to coast, that might have been a bit different, but they were able to cut that off, and that goal from outside 50 and banging it through, and then also the other goal from the boundary line by Day Wicks, backside from right on the forward pocket, deep in the pocket, and was able to get it through, and that's sometimes all it can take in finals footy.
I tell you, we're looking at the difference in the games there. Noah Walsh in that last quarter, the way he stood up in the middle of that ground, and he would have got 4 or 5 clearances, gave run from behind, and doing defensive work on that half forward line to make sure the ball doesn't get out was huge.
Yep.
He was the one that I seen for Sandhurst that went to that next level to get him over the line.
I've had my eye on him for weeks, if not months now, Metro. He reminds me, and today is a little bit different, but generally is like Cody Price, who played here a number of years ago now. But just so dangerous. And I think I mentioned it to you even before the start of before the ball was thrown into the air. But and just Hosking, ragdolling. Leicester is not a. Well, I wouldn't think he's a recognised ruckman. Just giving them first use of the footy, but.
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And berry plant will show you